fresh plant-based ingredients that you can see and taste. One try and you'll fall in love with Melinda's. Melinda's also makes spicy ketchups using real sugar and no high fructose corn syrup. Yuck. Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get 20% off our award-winning sauces with code SPORTS at melindas.com. That's melindas.com.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Are you a delivery driver looking for a better job opportunity? Host Coffee is a local family-owned coffee, water, and vending company that has been in business since 1972. We are growing, and we now have openings for delivery drivers and other positions starting at $22 an hour with full benefits. If you're interested, visit hostcoffee.net/careers to connect with us.
Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving, crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover.
Double crossover. The crossover continues to evolve. Time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Every Little Concrete Repair in Omaha and everylittleconcrete.com. Good morning, basketball boys.
Hello. The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life.
You're a shooting star.
Teddy Pendergrass, man.
That'll be on the One Shining Moment.
Remember the alternate? Remember the alternate version?
So it's a given.
God,
it's a given that good game or bad game, Tominaga will make his way into it.
No doubt.
He better.
Yeah, he's in no doubt. Wagner Howard will make it. The ball is tipped.
The ball is tipped.
Or would they do the ball is tipped from the first game on Thursday, which is Michigan State, Mississippi State?
Well, it is, Thomas.
The ball is going to be tipped. We do know that, which is great news for everybody.
Great news. You're looking for a line like a Kevin Harlan or an Ian Eagle to.
And here we go with the 2024 NCAA tournament.
Hey,
March Madness.
So we have the Dukes of Duquesne that are coming here.
Yeah.
And their game on Sunday in the A10, which, by the way, if you want to go to games on the morning, the first session on Thursday, lots of seats available.
Really?
Yep.
BYU, Duquesne, not so much?
Yeah, Illinois, Morehead State.
It's a last dance for Duquesne, though.
Yes, it is for their head coach.
Yeah, it's true.
But I was thinking, how somebody accidentally pushed a button and the confetti fell in the A10 final.
I'd love to know the story.
Well, okay, so it got me to think.
Remember
the Indiana game recently where somebody pulled the fire alarm?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, Wisconsin.
Would you,
Yep.
like, to help your team, are you that much into your team that you would do something like that if your team was losing?
Oh.
No. Would I commit a crime?
Whoa. Because the
talk to the folks in Lincoln.
The story is there was an IU fan that pulled the fire alarm.
Is that right? Is that true?
They have still shots of the guy going up to pull the fire alarm.
But well, I mean, at the time,
when you're losing in Madden and you just say, "I'm not going to lose. I'm hitting the reset."
Yeah, I'll start.
Start over. Never happened.
Wisconsin was making a run at the time. Greg Gard was mad about it. I do remember that piece of it. So, no, I would not. To answer that question very succinctly, I would not commit a crime to see my team
if I
win.
thought that it might actually restart the game and they could start from square one, which we know that there's no way possible that would happen, yeah, then I would.
But if they're like if they're making a run and you know you're up by 15 and all of a sudden they hit like an 8-0 spurt, are you pulling it?
Are you that deranged as a fan that you're like, I got to help my team out?
Well, I don't condone this, but
Yeah.
I do compliment the person on, okay, I got to do something.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Trying to do your part.
And thinking of that, I wouldn't have thought of, I should pull the fire alarm because
I don't.
Maybe you just run onto the court.
I'm with you, Josh. I don't
maybe.
know if I would actually think about pulling the fire alarm as opposed to creating some other type of diversion.
Right.
What
I would
hap-
do something stupid.
What happens if you work on the grounds crew and your team all of a sudden is losing and you need a little bit of delay?
Turn on sprinklers.
Just all of a sudden the sprinklers come on.
You got to stop the bleeding. The team isn't doing it. It's up to me.
I can get us a rain out.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. No.
Why? Apparently, you just don't care enough about your team.
Apparently, I don't. Apparently, I don't.
Now there is the part about. So, did you guys ever hear this as a kid? You know, where when there's a phase that I think all of us go through when we're a little bit younger with fire, like either matches or, you're referred to as a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. I thought that was just a Def Leppard album, but
it's a great album.
So there was probably a little stretch of my life when I was a little kid that I was fascinated by like fire trucks. Like I wanted to be a fireman.
Of course. Who did?
And then also fire alarms. But this is what I was told, like to scare me into not pulling the fire alarm just to pull the fire alarm, only pull it when it was needed, is that if there is not a fire and you pull the fire alarm, that your hand is going to get stung.
Yeah,
Did you guys ever were you ever told that when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Like there's going to be something that's going to come out, it's going to poke you in the
There
hand.
was this aura about the fire alarm, and they made it very clear to not touch the red box that is the fire alarm. So I always felt like, I don't know if this was ever said to me, but I always felt like if I touched it, I would either be in big trouble or it would hurt me in some sort of way. It would do physical harm.
Yeah, I never knew about pulling it would actually hurt me. I just thought that there was.
Have you ever physically pulled the fire alarm?
No, I never have.
I've never had.
Always wanted to. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Have you ever broken glass in case of emergency?
No,
I haven't either.
I haven't either.
So
these are things that would be fun.
Maybe one day.
When I was in school, they told us it was like a pull lever for the fire alarm, and if you pull it, there will be like a die that shoots out.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that,
So
they know who pulled it.
Who pulled it?
Like,
Yes.
oh, okay. So I can't fake pull it.
Right.
Because they'll know I was the one that pulled it.
Yes.
What a lie.
I've heard something like that. I've never heard about having your hand poked though.
Yeah, I heard something like that.
The lies we tell our children.
Oh, I know. But then are you going to tell your children?
Oh yeah, I'll tell them that.
Did it work? I mean, we're combined like over 100 years old, and none of us have ever pulled a fire.
No, I
alarm.
never did.
Right.
Always wanted to and was scared to.
It's definitely
Didn't want to get
enticing.
in trouble.
Yes.
But they make it kind of safe. Maybe sometimes there's a glass case over it, and then you actually have to like pull it out of the thing before you pull down, and that's when it officially.
Have you guys ever had to use a fire extinguisher?
No.
I never have either. I've always wanted to.
No, I mean I have used a fire extinguisher, but not for putting out a fire.
Oh,
okay.
It was like the U coming out of the tunnel, and they needed the fire extinguisher.
No, it's
for the
just
smoke, or
fun.
what?
It's just fun. There was just a fire extinguisher.
Oh, okay. Was it fun? Was it fun to shoot?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it looks fun.
It's got the hose.
Yeah, I've never done it.
Have you guys ever used like a torch? Like a
blowtorch?
Yeah, like a blowtorch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blowtorches are the best.
Yeah, they're cool.
I remember when I found out about a blowtorch. That was a day.
I have one for cocktail smoking.
Yes,
very good.
For great for old fashions.
Yeah, or like for cigar lighting, things of that nature.
Yeah.
On Sunday, my wife made fun of me because we were sitting at church waiting for Sunday school to get out, and I was sitting not 5 feet from the fire extinguisher box with the hammer and the glass, and
thought about it.
I picked up the hammer and I tapped it up against the glass. I couldn't not play with it. And my wife said, "What are you doing? You're almost 40."
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm living is what I'm doing.
It's hanging right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there. You can entice people with it, especially when we know the secrets that it won't zap you.
I know.
I just want to know, like, is it,
or it maybe it will.
Is there a lot of resistance, or is it like an easy pull down? Does it just come down easy?
Oh, great question.
Yeah. I want to know if it's like.
Great question. I don't know.
Not that we're advocating anybody go try to live.
No, we are certainly not. We are
just
certainly
want to do it.
We're just asking.
Fire department's going to hate
I
us.
just want to know your experience if you ever have done it. Why don't you go ahead and tweet into us and tell us what it's
Well,
like.
don't they have to check those things like periodically to make sure they're working? So, I mean,
Annually?
obviously, yeah, they need people to test them for them. So I think that should be an invitation for any of us. If any schools out there are looking to manually test their fire alarm, we've got 4 people in this studio that would
We'd be happy
gladly
to
help.
Yep. I just want to do it.
Oh yeah,
once.
we could bang out a couple tests.
Yeah.
for the city.
Love to help out.
Yeah.
And I want to be in charge of doing the test on the tornado siren.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, too loud.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be
Well,
coming
depends
up
on
here.
where you live.
Now that we're in the spring, we'll have severe weather safety week here coming up.
Oh yeah. It'll happen during our show too. It'll happen at like 11 o'clock one day.
Yep.
Be like, is everybody all right out there?
First Wednesday of the month.
Get the siren.
Jamie tweets in,
I
my
do.
mom never told me anything to deter me from pulling a fire alarm. She just made it known that if I did and there was no fire, I was getting my ass beat. 5-foot joist could be very intimidating.
That's enough of a deterrent, I think.
Adam says we always told our we were always told as kids that if you pulled the fire alarm, blue dye would be sprayed all over your hand.
Yep.
Like robbing a bank.
So but that's not true, right?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's
No,
not.
it's definitely not
I
true.
can't
Pretty sure
imagine
it's
it would
not.
be true. No.
Yeah.
In the middle of a real emergency, you pull the fire alarm, like, oh my God, my hand.
The guy walks out of the building with flames behind him, and he's got a blue hand.
It was me.
I was trying to be the hero. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, the things we're told.
I know.
I should make a list of things that we were told as a kid that were never, ever true.
Now, I've definitely heard you get arrested for doing that.
Well, it is a crime.
yeah,
Yes.
Which that is true.
That's enough of a deterrent.
Yeah.
It should be. It should be
Yeah.
enough of a deterrent.
I don't want to have a
Not
record
for some.
But kids don't understand, what it's
Yeah.
like. And
I just-
well, there was speaking of the blue dye, there's pee in the pool,
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
it'll turn blue.
I never
Tested that theory early.
I did too.
Doesn't happen.
Never has been true.
No.
It never
Never.
was. I don't even think that technology exists.
Other than the movie Grown Ups, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's right. That's a horrible movie.
It is not good.
Hey,
Neither
I
one of
really-
them.
I want to say, Nick, great job on quoting Vacation on the St. Louis scene with BC this morning. That was nails.
Gary set it up. though.
That you set it up,
Gary
but
set
you
that one
had
up.
the quotes just locked away.
Oh, anytime we could use that scene, it's one of the most underutilized
Yeah,
comedy scenes in any movie.
it's
That
fantastic.
once you can get into the hey man, what it is, bro? I'm out of town.
So
I love that.
I got to tell you a story that involves Nebraska football off that movie. So they were in East St. Louis, and there was a stretch in the 90s where Nebraska and East St. Louis used to be the greatest high school football program, but they were just cheating their butt off.
Yeah. Sure.
Like they were getting guys from all over St. Louis that did not live in East St. Louis. And East St. Louis, National Lampoon's Vacation, told you is a little bit rough. So there was a guy named Lorenzo Brinkley that was from East St. Louis.
Great name.
And so all I knew about East St. Louis was from the movie. He shows up and I get to interview him. So of course I have to ask him about that. He'd never seen the movie.
Oh no!
I was gonna say, what did he say?
Oh.
Be interested in his tape.
You did ask him about his cousin Jackie, the Torino with no wheels.
You see where I say rib tips?
Now, F that, you don't know. Go down about a half a block. You're going to see a Torino with no wheels. And inside that Torino is my cousin, Jackie. You tell him that you're my boy and that you lost, and he'll get you back to where you want to go. Because you don't know from me, man. I'm not even from here.
That's so
I'm
good.
from the west side of Chicago, here on vacation.
That's amazing. Great job.
I was so excited to talk to Lorenzo about East St. Louis, what I
what
saw
a-
in the movies.
What a letdown.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's
He
such
had
a
no idea what I was talking about.
Roll him up.
See, that's a movie like we could go home today and watch that,
Yep.
and it
Yep.
just still resonates.
It's
it
one of
does.
my favorites. It's top 5 for
It
me
is.
for sure.
It's great. I mean, you got a generation that swears nothing is better than Christmas Vacation. Well, the original National
they're
Lampoon's
wrong.
Vacation
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Yeah, they
Very, very good.
they are
Well, and all the
definitely
cameos that were in it as well.
in Vacation.
Uh-huh.
Well, John Candy,
I mean, John
got-
Candy played like the perfect role for him.
Moose out front should have told you.
Eugene Levy, too, with John Candy there.
That's
too.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Uh,
Who is the guy
that's
who
super
played?
You hate it now. Wait till you drive it.
Who is the guy who played Roy Wally? What was that guy's name?
oh,
Because he was basically supposed to be like Walt Disney.
yeah. He's in the Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. He's the dude who runs a toy store,
yeah,
Duncan's
yeah,
toy store
yeah.
guy. Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah, it's
Eddie,
the same guy.
Eddie Bracken. Eddie Bracken.
Roy Wally.
Roy Wally of Wally World.
Roy
We wanted to take our family to Wally World.
They're on the roller coaster with the SWAT team.
Now, there are times that it will show up on TV and it hasn't been converted to HD. And it's a little bit rough.
I don't even think does that exist?
I have seen it when in the conversion and there's like a little bit of grainy, but it'll be on TV once in a while and it'll be the original version. And so you're like, whoa, this is kind of odd.
Yeah.
That would have been Josh this weekend driving the family truckster to Memphis.
Yeah.
Let's
What are
go,
the wagon
kids.
Yeah,
queen
kids go
family
2
truckster?
hours out of the way to stop at the world's largest ball of mud.
I'd do it too. I've been dubbed the mascot for this team. I need to be in Memphis.
God, we could have done the road trip in the station wagon.
Yeah.
So I
He's a
drove
family truckster.
I drove a station wagon in my first car in high school. That was kind of wagon.
Did it have the wood grain?
It did. It had wood paneling, but it had like the gunner seats, so the back seats were facing the other way. Yeah. So if you're sitting in the back, you're like going in reverse, and you could wave at like the people behind you. Oh yeah, that was sweet.
I can't remember the last time I saw like just driving down the street somebody in a station wagon.
Yeah, they were popular.
Well, I mean,
It's been a while.
There's like the modern day equivalent of a station wagon.
Yeah, but the true like what we know as a station wagon,
like an '85
when
celebrity
8
Wally
kids
wagon.
piled into it, so you could go to the bowling alley or something.
Yep.
You got to see
They're
the
all
family.
hatchbacks.
You got to get the family truckster.
And you got to have the wood paneling on the side. It just brings it all together.
What it was the car that he was actually trying to order that was
Oh yeah, it was like some type of sports car.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna get that sports thing. I got a great deal on this one. Isn't the gas tank like on the hood? It's like
the Antarctic Blue Super Sports Wagon.
That's
The
right.
C-Beat optional rally footback.
That's what it was. The Super Sports Wagon. Someone outside's laughing too.
Wow.
Yeah,
They thought that was funny.
Yeah,
they did.
you can hear our conversation. See, everybody loves the show.
That movie is so good. I could sit here and quote it
The
all
Rally
day.
Fun Pack.
50 yards.
Now, would that be a movie
50
that they
yards.
bring back and for like a limited run they put in the theater and you wouldn't go because everybody be quoting? You know the entire movie.
I would go
Yeah.
to that. That would get Connor Happer back to the movies.
Wow.
Where everybody's quoting the movie out loud.
Yes, that would be awesome. That'd be a great experience to be sitting with 50 of my
It would
best
be,
friends.
Yep. All like-minded individuals.
Well, and they did the remake with what's his name? Ed Helms.
Ed Helms.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It wasn't. It
wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but it's obviously
yeah.
not going to be Vacation.
Everybody's singing Holiday Road together.
Yeah. The little kid being the bully of like the older son. It was all just kind of, it was
Yeah.
not my favorite.
Asian Just says pretty sure Alamo Draft House does it every year. They put it in
Of the
they put
National
it in.
Lampoons?
Yeah,
sounds
we
about right.
got to
Nice.
do that. We got to go.
That would be good.
Let's all go.
I'd be down.
I would be up for that.
And
then can they show
French
Fletch?
kiss.
Yeah, but Daddy's
I think
the best
Fletch.
at it.
I think Fletch is the movie that I can quote everything out of.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the number one movie.
Fletch is
I believe yesterday was the anniversary of Fletch Lives coming out.
Awful.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Awful. There
That
there was no reason to have Fletch in the South.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
okay, that was the one where they're in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
that would be yours. That would be your like if you could get the closest you could possibly get to quoting every line of the movie, like you have to pick
Fletch.
one. It's Fletch for you.
Billy Madison.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber is a good one. Probably Caddyshack for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at us.
We're diverse.
Very, very similar tastes.
Yeah.
And none of these like recent movies either.
Right.
No.
No, nope. They all came out before 1990.
Josh, what happened to movies?
Well, we don't do comedies anymore.
No, we do not.
Too edgy. Don't want to get your name in the papers.
That is true.
That is like we don't do scary or funny movies anymore.
Nope.
Well,
Like
I
just
heard,
movies that just scare the out of you.
I haven't
Cancel.
watched it yet. It's on Amazon. The movie with Zac Efron and John Cena, Ricky Stenicki. I have heard multiple reviews say this would be the highest grossing comedy in the summer of 2004. And that kind of excited
Oh,
me.
that's a good.
Okay.
That's a good review. Yeah.
All right.
But nobody sees it now. Why?
Because, I mean,
You would think there's an appetite
Yeah,
for that.
right.
you know, now that I'm thinking about this, it's been a while since I've been in a movie where people have laughed out loud.
right.
Everything is about horrible occurrences.
Yeah. think the last, probably for me, was Top Gun.
Did you guys watch any of the Emma Stone movie, the weirdo movie that she got nominated for this time? Josh, what was it called?
Poor Things?
Poor Things.
It's very sexual.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
My wife was watching it, and I kind of dropped in for about 15 minutes.
Oh no!
And what part?
That's not the way to consume
What
that movie.
was going on in that movie? That movie was nonsense.
So
how did that get nominated for anything?
Because it's very artsy.
It sucks.
She dies and is brought back to life by a doctor, very similar to Frankenstein. And she has to learn how to live life again. But instead of doing that, she pretty much just learns how to have different kinds of sex.
Oh, okay.
Same.
But she's like a child, or she's like
she has the brain of a child.
Oh,
That's what she wanted.
What a ridiculous movie. And like part of it was in black and white?
Yes.
Or all of it?
Part of it. It is not until she leaves her homeland that color, like the Wizard of Oz.
What are we doing? Just get everybody in the family truckster and take a road trip. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Nope. The fun that you have too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she won for?
Aunt Edna.
Wow.
She's not sleeping, Clark. She's dead.
Eating the dog pea sandwich.
Dog killer!
The dog went on the picnic basket. Dog killer!
Dog killer!
Hey, Chevy Chase was on a roll. There was some bangers on that stretch.
Oh my God. He
Between
was
that,
untouchable.
Fletch, Caddyshack, all of them.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
Did you guys ever see Spies Like Us?
No.
That was very good. Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. It's very, very underrated during that time too.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
Wasn't he the Three Amigos as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dusty Bottoms.
See, he was on a roll, banger
on a
after
heater.
banger.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he could do no wrong.
Yeah, and then he got in trouble.
He got wrong.
He got kind of canceled.
Yep.
Yeah.
He hangs around a little bit
creepy.
on TikTok.
I saw a picture of him the other day. He was he's welcoming a grandchild or something like that. So he took a picture. Yeah,
that's good.
He looks real rough. A little rough.
Well, I think is he late 70s now?
Gotta be.
Late 70s?
I bet he is. I bet he's like 70.
Josh?
I bet he is.
Are we guessing?
Yeah, let's
I'm gonna
everybody
say,
pick a number.
76.
We'll say that he's 79.
I'll go low. I'll go 72.
He is 80.
Wow. Okay.
Chevy Chase is 80.
Holy cow. That's impressive.
He was so young in those movies.
I know.
Well, those movies are old.
Remember him as a young Ty Webb.
My God.
That
Well,
is
I guess
crazy.
he was probably older than they portrayed him.
Yeah.
In the because there wasn't a lot of time that lapsed in between Ty Webb and
Clark Griswold.
Griswold.
Yep.
Those are different people.
He wasn't that his name in Three Amigos? He was Dusty Bottoms, wasn't
Dusty
he?
Bottoms.
Was Ned Niederlander. Dusty Bottoms, and what was the third one? Steve Martin.
I don't know.
Lucky Day.
I wouldn't be able to come.
Was it Lucky Days or something like that?
Sounds mildly right.
You guys filled out your bracket already?
I have.
Yeah.
Does anyone ever fill out a bracket and look at it and go, man, I am really, really proud of myself?
No, I hate it. I hate it. I hate my
I think
bracket.
every time I look at my bracket, I'm like, this is going to be awful.
I hate it. But you have to pick. You have to do one iteration of the bracket and then enter it into however many challenges you're going to do or
Yes,
whatever.
I agree.
One
Do
bracket.
you work backwards?
No.
Bracket.
You're a one bracket guy?
One game at a time. I do all the first round games.
Yeah.
And then back up to the top left.
Yeah.
You don't work from the champion and then
No, that would be stupid. Because then you're
It
not.
actually worked for me.
What is the NCAA tournament about? It's about matchups, right? So how do you know who's going to win the championship?
But
without
you
the
already know
matchups?
going in who you think is going to win.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
That's
I let
how
the, I let the
that's how I
bracket
approach it.
decide that. I let the matchups decide. I let it take the wheel.
I have a good idea who I'd like to have in my Final Four, but then sometimes I realize, I don't think I have that Final Four because, like you, Connor, I go through the matchups. Ooh,
Exactly. No, I try to go in.
That's tricky right there.
Totally blank slate.
Right.
I do not have any preconceived notions on who I want in the Final Four, who I want in the Sweet 16, who I want to win the championship.
And then
I
there's
just
times
play
that I'll get to the Final Four. I'm like, oh no, I don't. That team can't be a Final Four team. But
Right. but they are.
And the Sweet
But there they
16 is when I start looking. Okay, I got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Oh, that can't be right. Okay,
Yeah.
So like we got a massage.
Or-
You just
you
play
get
it
very
game by
chalky
game,
and-
all
yeah.
vibes. All
or
vibes.
you get the person that showed up last week to watch college basketball that has all number ones.
yeah,
And they
but
dominate.
yeah,
Shannon
inevitably
Sharp?
they'll win.
Might be.
He picked all 8 number 1 seeds, and
The men's and the women's.
yes,
Amazing.
That's okay. Free agency in the NFL is over, so he didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
time to.
Who did you have winning since you were so convinced?
Well, I haven't finished my bracket yet.
Oh,
Taking
sounds like
my
you
time.
haven't. Sounds like you
had to
haven't
put it down.
started.
Oh well, so
Who'd you start with the champion?
I want UConn, but I don't think UConn's going to win the
No,
title.
back to back, hard. Don't
it's hard.
cancel them.
Too many people, too high on him.
Yep.
Yep.
Same way with Purdue and Houston.
We call that Buffalo Bills syndrome.
No, not
But
not the
five
same
of the
way with
last
Purdue
6
and
years.
Houston.
5 of the last 6 years, though, a number 1 seed is won.
Houston has had some problems in the NCAA tournament. Purdue
Yep.
has had well-documented problems in the NCAA tournament. People aren't particularly high on them. I think that's a place where you can get in on some action. I'm zagging on all narratives, and
Okay.
Purdue's winning the national championship,
Okay.
which means they're beating Creighton in the Elite Eight.
Would not be surprised.
Purdue from first round 16 seed upset to national champ, just like Virginia.
Will what number 1 seed will be out first?
North Carolina.
Elite 8 or Sweet 16?
I
I'm gonna
think
say
there's
Sweet 16.
I think there's a chance they could got in the round of 32
Oh,
with Michigan State, Mississippi State, I believe, is that other matchup in that bracket.
I believe I have Houston
Izzo.
losing first.
Okay. To Nebraska?
No.
No.
Well, then, to who? To whom? Kentucky?
I'm working on it.
Are they up there? I don't have my.
They're
You
not.
got them losing to Texas A&M?
No.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Nebraska basketball. No, maybe I got to think about the 50s. Nebraska basketball ever beaten 2 number 1 teams in the country?
Mm.
Now, Houston has fallen out of the number 1 slot, but
Oh,
They've only done it,
That's
what,
right.
3 times in school history?
I have the Dukes of James Madison beating Houston and becoming America's darling.
Holy God.
Oh.
now
That's
you
going to be
know-
popular, Josh.
You know that a team that wears purple hasn't won a national title since Holy Cross,
Yep, take them out.
and only LSU has made the Final Four.
I don't have either of those teams in the Final Four.
But James Madison is purple.
Yes, they're in the Elite Eight.
lot of
Elite Eight.
a
Then
lot
they
of
lose to
people-
Kentucky.
A lot of people are going to take Jimmy Mads.
Yeah.
I'm going to zag on that one, too. I'm
Mhm.
going Wisconsin in the first round.
I
You
did
think
that.
that Chucky has rescued Wisconsin?
Yes.
I did that a couple of times. There were a couple upset picks that were very too trendy for my liking.
I think I ended up having who are the other teams in that top left with UConn?
Auburn,
Iowa State.
Auburn,
Iowa
Iowa
State, I think.
Okay.
Iowa State, Baylor. It's like the Big 12 Invitational. Purdue and Houston, maybe. So 2s, 3s, and 1s.
Why don't we have a interactive bracket on a building in downtown Omaha?
What do you mean interactive?
You know, like when Indianapolis hosts the Final Four on the W Hotel, that Marriott, where it's right there by Victory Field and the NCAA headquarters, they've got that gigantic bracket.
That'd be awesome.
Remember, like during COVID, teams would go onto that parking garage with the hotel in the background and take pictures. It was very, very odd because no one was around. But we should have, because we're hosting, there should be, like one of the buildings, like the building that has toast on it downtown.
Well, we have the
Why
next
can't they
best.
have a gigantic bracket on it?
We have the next best thing, which is you can go to 1620thezone.com and enter in our bracket challenge. And you
Booyah.
can see all of our VIP picks.
That's right.
On the front, which you
right.
you should definitely do because there's cool prizes at the end of it as well.
Employee of the month.
Damn straight.
Right there. Connor Happer.
I just figured I'd sneak.
Now,
that
I have
in.
not looked at our bracket because I'm going to do that later today.
Yep.
Is it once you're done, or does it give you
I think
like
you
up
can go
to
back.
10 minutes before the start of a game?
I think you can go back.
You can
Yeah, I
edit.
think
I think you can go back
edit.
until the start of a
Okay.
game.
You can edit.
Ah.
Yes, you can edit. Very
So you don't need to-
user friendly.
Yeah, you don't need to wait till like the 11th hour.
I will be having a fantasy draft tomorrow night.
Baseball.
What's your top
Not
fantasy?
baseball, for NCAA basketball.
Oh, that's cool. That's a
Oh.
cool idea.
So you
Is
got
it like an auction?
yes.
So you get to buy the bet. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you're
Who will
playing
go for the most? UConn.
anybody on UConn? Probably. I mean, Edie will go pretty high because you're
Oh,
thinking
you're drafting
Purdue.
players.
Purdue will play multiple games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking
Oh,
players.
Cool. That's awesome.
So you got to think of teams that are going to be around for a while. So your guys get minimum 3 games, maybe 5 at least.
Yeah, that's awesome. Baylor Sharman, probably a pretty high dollar guy.
Somebody on Creighton, one of the big 3 will be a popular guy.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking you're probably going to get minimum 3 games, or hopefully of 3 games out of that pick.
Yeah, I think so. It sets up pretty well for
RJ Davis.
Although Obama picked South Carolina to beat Creighton.
That's right.
Thanks a lot, Obama.
Well, you probably will not vote for him now.
Exactly, because I can't.
Picked A&M to beat Nebraska.
Oh.
He did have the Nebraska women in the Sweet 16.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. Now that actually would not surprise me.
Thank you, Obama. Where's Biden's bracket? Is he okay?
No comment.
Do you think the 2 candidates will do a bracket? Did President Trump do a bracket?
No.
when he was
No,
in
thank
office?
you.
No.
Basketball sucks.
I'm
all about golf.
I'm more focused on what I said about Trev Alberts.
Although that would be a funny bit if every Friday President T gave us some golf picks.
Here's your fantasy lineup for the weekend. I think Justin Thomas has a real chance.
JT is a winner.
I love him.
Just a funny visual for me for whatever reason.
It would be.
I mean, he should. He should hop on Twitter and do his fantasy golf picks for the weekend.
And then
Could open up the book.
Listen. You got to take Tony Feet out and make the top 15. You have to do it.
Or what if you had?
You have to do it. We love Tony.
What if you had
He's
President
an American.
Trump and
Rory, bit of a
OJ
whiner.
on there together doing fantasy football questions?
Yeah.
Because OJ likes to talk his fantasy football in his
He does.
videos.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's good options for content for our famous people out there. Apparently they're not diving into it. We just have to still go back to Obama's bracket.
When did that become a thing where we were somewhat interested in the president of the United States doing a bracket?
This is like 3 or 4 presidents ago, probably.
Yeah, he
Remember when
decided-
Andy Katz was at ESPN? He'd be in the White House.
Yeah,
And it was
he
like,
did
it was
it,
like
and
the biggest thing.
Did
it
Bush
was a
do
big
a
deal.
bracket?
I was going to say, I think W did it first.
Yes.
Did he? Okay, I don't
And
remember.
it
him
was
doing
like,
one.
hey, let's we're all people here. Let's be cool and
Make a bracket.
yeah, like very apolitical.
See, I don't remember him doing one. The first one I remember was Obama. It was a big deal.
Yeah, it was,
Obama's was a big deal because
Had
he
a lot more
kind of knows.
presentation.
He
Yes.
kind of knows ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He knows ball.
Now, if
He pays attention to sports. Now W does as well.
if GW wanted to do like a fantasy baseball lineup, I'd listen.
Yeah.
I'd pay attention.
Another good piece of potential content. George W. Bush hops on. He says, "Thanks, guys. Welcome to the show. I like Bobby Witt Jr."
let's tweet the president.
Corey
and say,
Seager.
Hey, Obama, you down to go over this bracket in detail?
Yeah, good idea. You down?
It could be really good.
I like that choice.
Now, when he responds and he says, what number to call? Are you fully prepared?
Oh,
951-1620. I'd be a fool to say no to that.
it's a 42
No, we
degree
got
hotline.
hey, we got this segment coming up. Nah, we're not going to be able to push it back. We're up against the clock.
Yeah,
We got the tweet
we
bag.
ran out of time today. We ran out of time.
We got this thing, the tweet bag. We're can we get you tomorrow?
Great News Simple has responded to our poll question of have you ever pulled the fire alarm? And he says, now what do you think he said?
I got to see this.
Now, Connor, you got to be careful here.
He used an exclamation point. Resounding no.
Resounding no.
Exclamation point.
Won't wear a seatbelt, but
Doesn't like to
also-
live that far out on the
also
edge.
will not pull the fire alarm.
Context.
Simple, buckle up.
He just doesn't get the show.
Thank you, Simple. I appreciate your response. It is recorded.
See, I also appreciate Sip that he doesn't just vote, he responds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resounding
Like because
no.
there's not an option of resounding no, let's just tweet at him.
Yeah. It's really appreciated. And those polls end up getting more votes, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
More engagement.
Get the Simple
Yeah.
bump.
Hey,
And
he
sometimes it turns
amplifies
into whatever content Simple.
He draws a lot of positive attention to it.
Simple is the content machine in and of himself.
Have a enjoyable night at the ballpark.
Oh, we
That's right.
will.
What will be first pitch attempt tonight?
Ooh.
Oh, it's not going to be bad.
61, maybe?
I think
we'll
that's
still
going to
in
be a
the
good
60s.
game. Creighton's playing well.
Yes,
South
yes,
Dakota State's coming off a sweep in Tulsa.
Yeah, they are, but that team in Tulsa doesn't quite seem as good as they were last year.
What's going on there?
They might be missing a few pieces.
They lost a guy or two.
Yeah, there's my take. There's my college baseball take for the day. Oral Roberts not going back to the College World Series.
Yeah,
sorry, I apologize. I think there will be some pitching changes, and
I expect nothing more.
Some walks, and
yep.
And there's a guy on South Dakota State who has like a 19-game hitting streak or something like that. So, and his name is Frost, I guess.
Yep.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Happens to be from Wood River.
Wood River back in Nebraska.
Yep. No. No, he's not from Wood River.
All right. And then I won't see you before now in the start of the tournament. So safe travels.
Thanks.
That's right. It's Friday for Connor.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not Friday.
You're not working the rest
I
of the
am
week.
working.
Now, are you going
Not according to management.
Are you going to meet? Are you? I like this, Josh. Are you just immediately landing in Cleveland and driving to Pittsburgh? Or are you going to drive around Cleveland?
No, I'm not going to.
Are you going to stop at the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Because you're going to drive right by it.
Maybe on the way back. On the way back, I'll have some time because I don't fly out till a little bit later on Sunday night. But no, I want to attempt to get to Creighton practice tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So that's
so you can get in the layup line, or
well, of course,
that'd be cool.
Please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, out there with my Powerade cup.
Look,
that'd be awesome.
Look, Mac, these guys, they can either do layups or they can at this point.
Right.
Let me in.
Yep.
why can't? So next year,
just go hard off the glass.
Next year, when they do like the preseason scrimmage for the fans, why don't they just like have the players and then media members are on the players team?
So there's like, what's the ratio you're thinking? Like
So
3 media members and 2 players,
or 3 players start, 2 media members are there with them.
Yeah. And you have to try to hide the media members as much as you possibly can.
It'd be bring great attention.
If you got one guy you could shoot it, then all of a sudden you get a huge leg up.
Yep.
When I played, when I don't know what the rules were when you guys were playing, when you were on the intramural basketball circuit, but it was always fun to play co-ed because the girls' points were worth more.
Yes.
And we just found a girl who was really good at basketball and she carried us. She had like 45 points a game.
We never had that. Although we didn't have a co-ed.
That's what they should do. That's what they should do. So 3.
So the media member is like more of a higher point value.
Yeah, I could shoot a 4-pointer.
Yeah, that seems fair. Yeah.
Now I have to shoot it.
Yes, you do. And you have to make it.
It has to go in.
That's true.
But that's the challenge. I like it. I want
to see you in the layup line.
Oh yeah, I
Going
can.
high off the
my
glass.
layups are worth 3. So.
All right, well, enjoy. Have fun in Pittsburgh.
I will.
I'm looking forward to all the content that you'll be generating for 1620thezone.com.
I will be. I'll be a content machine.
Talking to people on the street.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring the mini tiny baby mic.
Nice.
Who knows? Maybe I'll bump into Justin Fields.
Oh, you might.
Your boy.
Or Russ.
Or Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
In fact, you probably have a better chance running into Russell Wilson.
Oh, he's a man of the town.
He'll probably gladly hang out with you.
Yeah.
Hey, Connor. Hey,
let me show you around, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Hey, tell me about your job. I'm interested.
Well, wait a minute. Will he because North Carolina State's in the Pittsburgh pod, right?
Oh, yeah, they are.
Will he show up to support North Carolina State?
I bet he will.
That feels like a good, safe,
not an alum
thing for him to do.
Well, I guess he is an alum.
Oh, yeah. Connor, there's a guest for you. Come on, talk to him.
All right, we'll go find Russ.
I like that fat guy on our team.
That's the crossover powered by Every Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everylevelconcrete.com. We will come back and start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Women's college basketball audience on Fox is larger than the men's. Wow. Because of her. Because of her. Women's basketball is up 48% on Fox, 60% across all national networks. They say the viewership peaked at 4.4 million viewers.
If that was a men's game, those are extraordinary regular season basketball numbers.
But people love their Caitlin Clark.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Breezy and mild as we welcome in Spring Tuesday. Expect tons of sunshine throughout the day, though northwest winds will be gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour at times. Highs in the low to mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Hey, Omaha dog lovers, get ready for more wags and more fun. Hound HQ, your dog's favorite spot for daycare, boarding, and top-notch grooming, is now open. At Hound HQ, there's plenty of space for a pup to sleep, play, and everything in between. Plus, our expert groomers are here to ensure your furry family member always looks fabulous. Join our pack on Facebook and Instagram at The Hound HQ, or visit our website, thehoundhq.com, and sign up your dog today. Hound HQ, more wags, more fun.
Hey, basketball fans. When you're in downtown Omaha for the games, remember that Cubby's is just a free throw away at 13th and Jackson. Gear up for pre-parties, tailgates, or post-game. Cubby's has what you need. You'll find a full meat counter with steaks, burgers, chicken, and homemade brats. Hot and fresh deli food, including Chester's Chicken and Godfather's Pizza Express. Pop, water, beer, and a full liquor department. See you at Cubby's Old Market, open 24 hours at 13th and Jackson.
Riding season is here, and it's time to trade in and trade up. Or, if you ain't riding it, Luss Hills Harley-Davidson is buying it. Sell your Harley-Davidson today. Luss Hills Harley-Davidson. Rise up and ride on.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything that's free, so he was happy to read the disclaimer on TurboTax Free Edition.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me.
File your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your max refund guaranteed. See if you qualify to file for free at TurboTax.com. See max refund guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Could you that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
It's cool. I'll just hold the button.
Good thing people know what the open sounds like. Apparently that button has got a lock. Like hit it with like a double tap or something. Well, okay. I'll get there eventually. Hey, welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. I'm Connor Happer alongside Josh Odson. It is my final day on air this week. With a little travel day coming in tomorrow. But we are very happy to announce that Josh has a fantastic show lined up for you tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
You'll be very happy that I'm gone because Josh will be doing bigger and better things without me.
Nothing but illustrious guests tomorrow.
Who we got?
Got the usual, Robin Washut, Mitch Sherman. We'll do the tweet bag.
Yes.
And got some basketball coaches that are coming to
Are we revealing their identities?
I will reveal their identities
Okay.
as soon as I pull up the email. Coach Dambrot from the Duquesne Dukes.
Let's go.
coming to Omaha. Announced that this is the last dance for him at Duquesne.
He's headed out.
And a young man by the name of Coach DeVries.
And they call him D-Rock, from how I understand it.
At Duquesne?
No, Darian DeVries.
Oh, okay.
D-Rock.
Sorry, I was looking at a Duquesne guy with the last name of D.
There you go, Drake.
Yeah.
Drake plays Washington State. I have heard from a few people, I haven't even looked into this yet. I have heard that Omaha is becoming an increasingly tough ticket for the week here.
Oh, really?
With the amount of local flavor that's in. Obviously, Iowa State is significant.
We don't have the Kansas or the
but Iowa State does it, man, and it's a short trip, and they'll do that thing.
And they're excited about that particular team.
You will likely, if you'd like to slide into Duquesne and BYU, you could probably get there. That's the second game of the day. The first game of the day in Omaha, the second game of the day total on Thursday. And then so this is the morning session, Illinois and Morehead State at 2, but the night session, the evening session here in our lovely town, that is a tough ticket because that's where all the local flavor is. South Dakota State and Iowa State at 6:30, and then Drake and Washington State. Omaha is the host of the second game of the day in the entire NCAA tournament and the host of the final game of Thursday.
Like the last game is like a 9:05
It is a
tip.
9:05 tip.
And
for
it'll be
Drake
later
and
than
Washington
that
State.
if we know anything about this tournament.
Oh, no. They don't usually run behind in this.
Okay.
Do they? I mean, it's very rarely runs behind.
Good.
Because they bake in enough time in there. Because the South Dakota State Iowa State starts at 6:35 and Drake Washington State is at 9:05. Like, unless it goes 2.5 hours, then you're gonna be just fine. So they'll usually start pretty well on time. Obviously, Drake fans, people that will come over to try and watch Drake this weekend, kind of stinks because they're in the same session as Iowa State and South Dakota State. So the conglomeration of all those people will be going to games in one session if you buy session tickets. So there you go. Drake and Washington State at 9:05 on Thursday night. I heard that night session is a pretty tough ticket. But here we are.
Luckily, I got mine.
Luckily, Josh has his, and it says his name right on it. Good job, Josh.
I don't know where I'm sitting, but
you'll probably be in outer space.
Yeah. I'm okay with that, actually.
I love outer space.
I just want to be in the room.
I was in outer space for the Duke Kansas regional final a few years ago. Still have the video on my phone. It's fantastic.
Now I got to be courtside when Missouri lost as a 2 seed.
There you go. Yeah.
And at the time, a 16 had not beaten a 1, so it was like, this is special right here.
Why don't you go talk to your boy Jake and just let him, have him. You can pull up a chair right next to him. You could be like, I'm shadowing him today.
I'll be your little Yoda. I'll
you
sit
could
on
be a
your
spotter.
shoulder.
I mean, PA guys sometimes need a spotter.
Oh, he does. His eyes are terrible.
There you go. So there's your way down to courtside if you're really trying to get there.
Boom.
Remember the rules with the Powerade cups. We don't want Omaha to get a bad look because they got a guy sitting courtside with a can of Diet Coke.
That's right.
That would be horrible. Horrible.
Sneak in a Mountain Dew for Jacob.
That's right.
I guess he's probably going to Pittsburgh.
I wonder where Mr. Padilla will be. I guess we'll find out when we get there tomorrow. Allan Bell will join us at 11:30 on the show today. We will bet the NCAA tournament with him. There is a potential Creighton, Tennessee battle in the, I guess it'd be in the Sweet 16 coming up. He knows a little bit about Tennessee. We even asked him last week, when's the Tennessee basketball downfall coming?
Have you seen his tweet to the show today?
I have.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
You're getting there.
No, go ahead. Read it.
He tweeted the show today and said, there is a Creighton, Tennessee showdown looming, and Howie, the Schwab, likes Creighton.
The Schwab of Stump the Schwab.
That's right.
He has been on Creighton all year long.
Picked him to beat UConn.
And there was a TV show about him not getting trivia questions wrong. Ooh. That was the whole idea of the show. So interesting. This sounds like a pretty smart guy to me. So we'll talk to AB coming up at 11:30. Jacob Bigelow at 1:00. He will be en route tomorrow to walking in Memphis. We'll see what that looks like. And I would encourage people to listen to his podcast this week because there was a special guest on there.
Oh,
there will be a special guest on there. I wonder who it is, and I wonder what they'll talk about.
Interesting.
So Jacob is coming up at 1:00. That is the lineup, powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Want to hear from you guys on the show, 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. Email Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank inbox. You can, what did I not say yet? Tweet?
Yeah, you have not mentioned the...
On the JTech Instructions on Twitter feed, at Happer Show, at Connor Happer. There, we're at producer_Josh, and we say good morning to our YouTube streaming audience. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, friends.
We are about to, it's about to be time. The ball is about to be tipped tonight. Now, if you're anything like me, you don't care a single bit about the first four. I could never be convinced to really lock in and watch Wagner and Howard at 5:40 tonight.
What?
I'm not going to do it. And it's not because I don't like ball. It's not because I don't want more ball or anything like that. I just don't feel as if it's important at all.
What time? Now, this happens to me every first four Tuesday. What time do you remember? Oh, there's games on. It's generally halftime of that first game where I go, oh, yeah, there are games. There is a game on.
Yes, because people won't start like actually paying attention to it until like they get home from work.
Right.
And, it's, hey, well, I guess I'll eat dinner. I'll sit down and I'll watch the last 10 minutes of this game.
Oh, 2:16s. Okay.
And then you lock in for you could potentially lock in for the late game.
Right.
Which will be Isaiah Stevens in Colorado State and Virginia, the team that should have never been near the field.
Colorado State and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
What is the over-under on that game?
120.5.
Under.
I think both teams are going to score 60.
I like the undies.
So that is predicting that both games or that both teams will be under 60 points.
Yes, that's right.
And Colorado State is a 2.5 point favorite tonight from Dayton. And the joke about the whole True TV thing is over, guys.
You got to stop.
We all have it. We all have True TV.
Mm-hmm.
The NCAA tournament is one of the most easily accessible things that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's on your phone. It's on any website. It is on your television. It is on your YouTube TV. It's on your Hulu TV. It's there. It's all there. You don't have to think. You don't have to make a joke about this True TV.
You don't.
Now, what I will say is, I am looking forward to seeing what they are promoting on the True TV during the commercials. Things such as maybe Impractical Jokers.
Well, now here's the thing about True TV. As the year goes on, they are moving away from
Impractical Jokers. Are they phasing the Jokers out?
The Jokers are moving to TBS, I believe. True TV is going to become your channel for alternate telecasts. Like if there's an NBA game on TNT, you can get a alternate cast on True TV. They're going to do it for hockey. They're going to do it for a few other things. They're slowly turning True TV into more of a sports station as this year goes on.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll pimp some of that.
I imagine there will also be Impractical Jokers is moving to TBS. Yeah. Oh, hey, pack up the boxes, guys. We're moving to TBS.
Texter writes in from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Will you call my grandma and tell her she gets True TV? I can't seem to convince her.
If we have to.
This is like the whole NFL streaming a playoff game on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? We're all smart enough to figure it out. We have all the tools right there in front of us. They purposefully make this as easy as it could possibly be. And
many new TVs and devices will just tell you, hey, this is the big thing that's on right now.
Yeah,
do you want to watch it?
I don't even, when I go to my YouTube TV, I don't have to know anything about anything. It just tells me what I want, which I kind of hate the principle of, but it's for convenience and for the ease of getting to the actual channel. It's nice. And we're ready for some multi-view. We're going to fire up that multi-view on Thursday. It's going to be hot, hot, hot.
YouTube TV, I guess this doesn't necessarily matter for the basketball tournament, has just launched you can pick your own multicast.
Yes.
With the NBA League Pass.
They do it on like a college basketball Saturday too. I was playing around with it a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
So that's a thing now. Now, granted, there's only going to be 4 games going on at a time, but
they'll have it for the tournament. You will have all the tools at your fingertips. This is important television watching.
Yeah.
Get that second TV out, get that third TV out, pop open the windows and enjoy yourself a day. Bring the cooler up to you. I call it a couch gate sometimes. Get that cooler out, fill it up with a big pile of ice, and then just sit there all day long. That's Thursday, that's Friday, that's Saturday, and that is Sunday. But welcome to the show. All right, that is the setup today. We will go back and review a couple things that Matt Rule had to say yesterday. We'll talk about that first 4 and what's different about it this year. And then I've discovered an ultimate college basketball tournament, NCAA tournament preview that I'm going to cherry pick some stats from and throw them out your way during the show, involving our good friends at Creighton in Nebraska. The portal is open. Players in the NCAA tournament, maybe a little Frankie Fiddler in there as well. Yeah. Yep. It's all coming. Oh, look at this, Bernie. Bernie just sent me a tweet of his setup. Looks like maybe from last year. Or no, this is from conference tournament weekend.
Now that's a great time to practice what you're doing for Thursday and Friday.
He's got a TV on the floor and then a TV on top of that TV, which is just like on a dresser, and then a TV on the regular stand that looks like where his normal TV would be, and then there's just a TV on top of that TV. There's 4 TVs.
Hey, I heard you like TVs. So
and I
put a TV on your TV on your TV.
I see a TV box behind all these TVs, which means he just especially bought this TV for this event.
Hell yes, sir.
A great job by you, Bernie. Nice job. All right, we will come back, start things off. Why don't we talk a little bit about what Matt Rule had to say yesterday? Matt Rule. We'll do that. I know I sound disappointed. It's only because I would rather be talking about basketball. That's okay.
It's better than football, you said.
Matt Rule talked yesterday, and it was important. And, we had Sam on yesterday, and he sort of parsed through it with us. And so we have some thoughts on that when we return on a Tuesday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Hi, this is John Bishop. Since the day I got my driver's license, I've had a check next to the organ and tissue donor box. It's a selfless gift because healthy organ donors can save up to 8 lives. And with tissue donation, dozens more can get the gift of sight, and burn victims can get life-changing skin grafts. Anybody can register, and there's no cost to you or your family. Check that organ donor box next time you renew your license, or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ and tissue donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Get ready for warm weather driving with early spring tire deals at Jensen. Save up to $200 on Goodyear, Cooper, General, Continental, Maxxis, and Kelly tires. Check out Jensen's early spring tire deals at jensentireandauto.com today.
I wish I could get this stupid jar open. Jars can be tough, am I right?
Who are you? And how'd you get in my kitchen?
It's me, Flo, and I'm here to grant your wish of easily switching to Progressive and helping you get a discount that honors the time spent with your previous insurer.
Great, but what does that have to do with getting this jar open?
Nothing.
So you can't open this?
Oh, I just do insurance. Jars, I leave to the professionals.
Sign up for Progressive and opt into more savings. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
His voice is often mistaken for a dial
tone. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. I'm still the most uninteresting man in the world. But if you're tired of losing sleep over business and personal taxes, payroll and employee benefits, financial statements and QuickBooks, call me.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit bepcpa.com.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Just a quick observation. I know all the conversation about the spring training or the baseball uniforms this year and how garbage they are.
Garbage.
It's definitely true. The hats also look weird. Like, I don't mind the designs of them, but they seem like really bulky.
They're big.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole baseball uniform thing really grinds my gears, Josh.
We haven't forgotten.
No, we haven't. We've generally stopped talking about it, which means we can no longer strong arm Major League Baseball into changing their uniforms.
If Shohei threatened, they'd change them.
I know. It's like, I'll do it. I'll go back to Japan. I'll take my very normal wife who's a professional basketball player back to Japan, never to return again. If you just bring our old jerseys back, then that will not happen. What do you think? Major League Baseball? Interesting. But he won't. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is a nice guy.
He's not going to throw around his weight like that. All right. Matt Rule yesterday. So he gets up there, and now keep in mind, this is a previously scheduled pre-spring press conference, right? Because everybody's leaving and going to the tournament, and we want to focus on basketball this weekend. But their practice doesn't start till Sunday. So usually they would have like a press conference on the day before, or maybe even the day of, or something like that. But we're doing it a little bit early this year, and this is all set up. And then Trev Alberts quits. Trev Alberts. Traitor, quitter.
People forget.
Did you see his Woo Pig Suey video yesterday?
I did. It was very awkward.
Woo Pig Suey 2024 was exactly, I mean, obviously he's going to stay there, it seems like.
Yeah.
So that's the part that he won't repeat Dana Altman on, but it did look very weird.
Feel like he couldn't come back if he wanted to at this point.
People were saying, though, that he looks horrible in the maroon suit. Now, if we can see through the pain that it has caused us over the last week and the feelings that have been brought up in all of the political conversations that we've now been having over the last week, if we could just somehow see through that, I think Trev looked great.
I thought he looked fine.
It's certainly odd, but I thought he rocked the maroon suit. And he does it in his own way. You know, he's got the readers. He's an old man in a younger man's body. Anyway, that's my fashion detail there from Trev. So let's go back to Rule from yesterday, who instead of talking exclusively about football, he talked a little bit about football. He spent about 12 minutes telling us how everything is going to be fine and what he wants and needs, the directions that they were on. It just so happened, wink, that some of the pictures came out yesterday from Nebraska's brand new, almost moved into football facility, which seems like it will probably be named the Tom Osborne Athletic Complex or whatever it is, just like the one in North Stadium was before that. That will now be repurposed.
Call it whatever you want. Just finish the dang thing.
But the weight room looks really cool.
Yeah.
The detail of the 27 with the Sam Foltz, I mean, that was on one of those racks there. That was, I mean, really cool. Everything was thought of. It looks really sharp, and that was put out yesterday. That's the best look we've gotten at a almost finished product over there at the brand new facility, which it seems like they're ready to move into, on track to move into by the summer. But Rule got up there and he, talked for a long time about big picture stuff. And I pulled out a couple of the things from it. So let's go to this one, the need to invest one, Josh. Here is Matt Rule on what he kind of wants to see happen. Now, keep in mind, this is in the middle of his long sermon about what's good about this place. But here's Rule yesterday.
I don't think the issues that maybe everyone's thinking are out there. I don't know if they're out there. I don't think that they're out there. I think that we're just on the precipice of a really, really important time to get the right leadership in here who's not worried about making tough decisions, who's not worried about investing, who's not worried about, man, what are people going to say if we hire a few more people? Like, this is the time. And it's not just about who we hire, it's about who we retain. And we have to retain that leadership. We have to retain our student athletes. We have to be the model of that across the country, because that's what Tom Osborne and that's what Bob Devaney and that's what they built the best player development university in the country. And you can't develop people if you don't retain people. And so that to me is the place where we're at. I'm just so grateful for Trev and Angie, but I'm also really excited about the future and grateful for Governor Pillen and Chris Kaborik and everybody else that's reached out to us at this time.
Well, we talked a little bit about it with Sam yesterday, but trying to kind of pick apart what he was saying and specifically who he was talking to in that part of it. We need to invest. We need to, obviously, and the second part was kind of about development and all that stuff. And I think that leads to that. But not being worried about what other people think. I mean, that really came into focus over the last week with Trev, right? And maybe Trev bit off a bit too much. Maybe Trev introduced a lot at one time, and that was his own fault. As we've said, Trev's a dreamer, right? We just built this new football facility. It's not done yet. Here's a $450 million scheduled, but it's going to be more, stadium, complete reshape, redone South Stadium process that is just, stressing people and things like that. Maybe he bit off a little bit too much, but the idea of what he was introducing is a good one. Now is the time, because we're talking about revenue sharing, and we're going to put however many $1 million into a pot every single year, and that's going to come out of your fund that you're used to having from a budget perspective. So you have to be prepared for all of that stuff. And so what he's talking about with not caring what other people think is that it happens to be, if you lived in this state long enough and you've interacted with people who are not in the sports world, it's hard for us to understand because we are so in it every single day, right? But Josh, you've interacted with people not in the sports world. How many people have come up to you over the years and have said something along the lines of, I can't believe that they're cutting all these programs and all these great things around the state, and I can't believe we don't have this, and yet the football program has gold toilets to piss in.
Yep.
How many times has that happened to you? Because for me, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think for our listeners, it's probably a lot as they identify as sports fans. Mm-hmm. Why do they have iPads in the showers and we can't get pencils, and stuff like that? And so the thing that Matt Rule and Trev Alberts were aligned on is the idea of we have those criticisms of the money that we make and the way we portray ourselves as an athletic department compared to the rest of the state or to the academic world or whatever. We have to push through that. We have to not care about that. And that could be a hard thing to do sometimes. And that's when you get other people involved who don't know athletics and they think the same things as the scenario that I just laid out. and they said, hey, the optics of this are just super sketch, right? Why do they have all these nice things and they're asking for more? And they're asking now, this is a self-funded, a self-sustained athletic department that, makes money hand over fist, prints it year by year, and they're asking for our help now? Hell no. And that's where, oftentimes over the last week, we've talked about it in a quote unquote political sense. It's not necessarily, although this leaks into it, it's not necessarily politics in terms of left and right and Democrat and Republican. It is viewpoints and politics in terms of how many people are involved and what do those people think. And that's what Trev was trying to push through. And I think he just pushed a little bit too hard. But make no mistake about it, Matt Rule also wants to push.
Yes.
Matt Rule also wants to push.
Good comment here from Charles on the YouTube stream. Rule is a master of the two-way statement. Yesterday was a praise and a challenge at the same time.
There is no doubt. Mm-hmm. There is no doubt.
I still remember the, hey, don't worry about the optics line from his 10-minute opening statement, let's call it, yesterday.
He had some stuff to say.
Yeah.
And so for all of us, over the last week, it's gotten really personal and weird with Trev and all that stuff. Matt Rule loves his vision. Matt Rule loved that he was a dreamer. And like I said, maybe he pushed too hard and then left. But the idea of doing what needs to get done, because Nebraska as a athletic department is not comparing themselves to other ventures around the state, whether they're academic ventures or public, like whatever they might be. Like they're not comparing themselves to that. They're comparing themselves to Ohio State as an athletic department. And what are they doing? And what kind of backing do they have? What kind of synergy and top to bottom vision do they have? Do they have everyone moving in the right direction? Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a state that has admitted what it is, which is we love football. We will do everything we can to support football because sports, college sports in particular. It's a big time industry and it's supported. And it doesn't meet a lot of pushback, and that's because that's not the political climate. And I'm sure it happens to a degree everywhere, but here, Josh, like I said, that if you're a person who's been around sports, specifically been around Nebraska, that is a thing. That is a conversation that comes up a lot with people who are just not in that world. Why do you need public funding when you have everything you could ever need and more? And you're now asking us for help. What do we see as a benefit here? What do we see as a return? Well, it's a big picture deal because when Nebraska football is good, it helps everything, everybody, everywhere. It just does. It helps us. Guarantee you that. Nebraska basketball being good. I'm looking at the amount of people that we have watching our stream right now. It's more than it was 2 weeks ago. Same thing with Creighton. Like it is a front door to your university, and you have to admit that. And in order to do that, you have to decide what you are. And that's what Sam got to yesterday. It can be a tough conversation. It could be, it is not in the old school mind of thinking that here is this college and its students play football. It's not that anymore. And you have to admit that. You have to say that out loud. You have to say, hey, look, we realize what this is. This is the front door. This is the window in. And the more attractive it is, the more likely people who are just wandering down the street will be to come in and visit and see what's going on. And it helps, economies and enrollments and everything. So it's a really big picture thing. You don't maybe get a direct impact. You don't get like a direct revenue stream from it. No, you don't. But make no mistake about it. Everything feels a lot better around here when Nebraska football is good. Everything. And that's something that probably needs to be admitted a little bit. So that's what they're talking about.
Not everything in the department. Everything
in the state
economy
in the state. So that's what they're talking about when they talk about moving in the right direction and everybody having synergy and everybody having, the common goal, the what do they call it? What Frost said all the time, unity, purpose, right? There's just, there's some people who don't share that unity of purpose. And that's something that Nebraska, as an athletic department, what Matt Rule is saying, we have to just push through that. We have to ignore the optics. We have to just compete. We have to do this. We have to compete at this level. And they might need some help some places along the way. And it's nice to know that they have somewhere to go if they need some help. Here's another one from Matt Rule yesterday along the same lines. He was asked, what do you want? What are some qualities that you want in a new boss?
I really want somebody who has unbelievable urgency. This is like one of the most pivotal. We spend a lot of time talking about like the transfer portal and NIL. This is one of the most pivotal times in college athletics, and we just need doers. You know what I mean? We need doers. We need people who just figure it out and work. And so, I love the fact in Trev that I had an athletic director that was here, at 7:00, 7:30 every morning in a suit and tie. He was a worker. Pat Kraft, who I worked with at Temple's now at Penn State, was a worker. They were right there with you. So I think what we need is somebody that's going to come in and just get things done. And again, they have to be really mentally strong, because when you come to a place that has as big a brand as Nebraska that people are so passionate about and care about, when you do something, a lot of people are going to like it. Some people aren't going to like it. And if you're listening to the outside noise, you have no chance. So I'm just hoping that it's somebody that's a worker, a doer. And I also want someone, Sam, that's going to go fight. Okay, go fight in the committees in the NCAA, to go fight in the Big Ten. Like I can say, because I'm the football coach, I'm mad we're playing Texas A&M both games, because now the games are about the AD leaving. It's not about our players. Our players deserve the games to be about us. And so, I think having somebody that's not going to just go quietly into the night, that's a doer, that's a worker. I think that's what we need to really take what we have and get it on overdrive.
That's pretty good. That's a good answer. And it's not just like
really good answer.
We need a guy to show up and work. It's more than that.
It's not just, we need a guy who's going to be here for the next 15 years.
Right.
Which is what some other people are saying.
Some people have said this somewhere. I can't remember where I saw a quote kind of like that.
I don't care if you're good or bad, just don't leave. I care.
I think Matt Rule cares.
Yeah.
I think Matt Rule cares. I think he, clearly, I shouldn't say he could care less if you leave, but like the good and the vision and the doing and the fighting that Trev Alberts did while he was here seemed to have pushed Nebraska athletics forward. And it's not just the hiring of Matt Rule, seemed to have pushed Nebraska athletics forward more than 3 years worth of time. That's what it felt like to me. We talked about it the day he left, the day he went to Texas A&M. And it was, the idea of him growing the tenure and the voice within Big Ten circles because of some of the things that he had accomplished here, and just, being one of the people who had been around for longer at that period of time, because the conference has had so much turnover. He had a growing voice. It was really the first time that Nebraska at that level, and really we are only now getting to the point in time where this stuff has become really, really important. During COVID, we remember talking about the committee of chancellors and presidents basically every single day. Oh, they're going to meet today. They're going to vote one way or the other on stuff. Like, it finally felt like Nebraska had a bit of a stronghold in that room, because they gave the power to the president, but the president left. And then, the AD was kind of the voice, and he was a respected voice. And now he left. And so I think that's an important piece of this too. Nebraska has had athletic directors before, Sean Eichhorst, who the Big Ten asked him if he wanted to move Black Friday, and he said, absolutely. I love it. What a fantastic idea.
Whatever you need, sir.
What a great idea. Our fans, I don't care about what they think, but this is a great idea. If you'd like us to do it, then we will do it. So it has to be a person who understands the wants and desires of the Nebraska football fan base, which can be a tough read from time to time, right? So there's that piece of it, but what they value. And that will, if the Big Ten comes to them and says, hey, we'd like you to play, this is just an example, we'd like you to play a home game on Friday night. For him to really consider, for that person to really seriously consider that and say, let me throw that out there and see how it lands, and I'll get back to you. Or to have the wherewithal to just say, no, we won't do. There are things that we won't do. There are concessions that we won't make. And I think it takes time to be able to pipe up in that room and say that. And I think Trev Alberts was either getting there or there. And that's what you lose in losing him, on top of all the stuff that I just said about the unity of purpose and him fighting through all that stuff. That's what you lose. That's not a small thing. That's not a small thing, especially in this world where, we're trying to figure out who's going to get left behind, in all this stuff. Nebraska needs a voice. They need to fight for themselves. They need to,
that advocate.
They need to say no to things. They need to have friends. Yes, advocates in their corner for sure. And who knows? Maybe one day Trev Alberts ends up being a friend, serving in a different place at a different. Who knows? Sounds like he might have aspirations to do that.
Sure.
Maybe one day Nebraska has a friend. And that could only be a good thing. So if you bring in an athletic director and you keep him for 3 years, but he accomplishes all these things and then he leaves, it's about what happened while he was here. If you get an athletic director who's going to be here for 20 years and not do jack and just accept everything the Big Ten gives them and not do anything to the stadium, then what's that do? How does that position Nebraska? College football has always been, if we're talking about football in particular now, but college athletics too, it's always been about who can find the edge. Always. And now that everybody has money, it's really hard to find edges. So it's in power, it's in leadership, it's in structure, and it's in vision. If you are aligned in those things, you already have a leg up on half of the competition. And because you got the money. You got the money and you got the support. Like Nebraska has a leg up in that category. And so those are like the modern day edges. It's not facilities anymore. It's not weight training anymore. Like, Nebraska nutrition, as Nebraska kind of, was on the forefront of that trend. Trev always said, like, hey, look, Nebraska's been on the forefront of all these various, trends over the years. And he's right about that. They need to find the next one. And maybe it's in structure and in power and in leadership. And in order to position yourself correctly, you got to have that person in charge. So I thought that was fantastic from Matt Rule yesterday. The first 10 minutes and the last 30 as well, when he talked a little bit more about football. Let's do a couple reactions here. First from the text line, from the 712. This is out of Iowa.
Hi, Iowa.
The problem is we have been asked for this unconditional support with more and more money for way too many years without seeing any sort of progress in athletic departments outside of volleyball. Fatigue is real. It is. And like I said, I think maybe Trev wouldn't admit this because he's gone and, I think he really believed in what he was trying to sell. But I think everybody could look at it and say, yes, this is what happened. They bit off a little bit too much. He bit off. He had this grand vision and wanted to do it too quickly with no questions asked. Was met with resistance and for obvious reasons, and left. That's what. So if they're now, one day you're going to have to do something. One day and one day it'll probably be a total tear down of the South Stadium.
Right. You're just putting a pin in that.
Right. But coming off of the $165 million facility and coming off of COVID, and they suck, Like maybe it's the right time to do like little smaller projects to prepare you for the big one. But Trev wanted to do the big one. Right.
Always does.
So I totally understand the fatigue. I understand the fatigue from the fans' perspective. I get it. Let's see. We have anything from the YouTube, Josh? Doesn't look like it.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, perfect.
Covered it all. Really darn well.
Yes, the conversation was so good that people
just nodding along.
People didn't want to comment on it. That's always a good sign. All right. Quick break. Allan Bell is coming up on the other side. We'll look into the tournament, throw some stats your way. What's the Schwab thinking?
Yeah, we got to get into this.
Yeah, we got to talk about this. True TV, Practical Jokers, what's he eating? NFL quarterbacks. A lot to cover with our good friend Allan Bell coming up on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But a reminder, this week's Zone deal is to Lula B's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar. Lula B's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar in downtown Omaha has everything from French toast and omelets, shrimp tacos, and burgers, and a full bar with unique cocktails. It's a cool place. Lula B's has festively decorated parties for family events and celebrations, or just brunch with all your friends. This week's Zone deal, as always, 2 $25 vouchers, which is, of course, a $50 value if you could math that up, for just $25. That would be half off, Josh. All the details online, 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
You can find pizza anywhere. But when you want pizza pie piled high with more toppings, that's when you come to my place, Godfather's Pizza. For a limited time, get your hands on 2 of my large one-topping pizzas. Pick pepperoni, beef, black olives, you choose. All this food for only $30. Feed your whole mob without breaking the bank. Hey, it's an offer you can't refuse. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
It's basketball time in Omaha, and when you're downtown for the games, be sure to stop into Cubby's Old Market at 13th and Jackson. Gear up for pre-parties, tailgates, or post-game. Cubby's has what you need. You'll find a full meat counter with steaks, burgers, chicken, and homemade brats. Hot and fresh deli food, including Chester's Chicken and Godfather's Pizza Express. Pop, water, beer, and a full liquor department. See you at Cubby's Old Market, open 24 hours at 13th and Jackson.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event going on right now. With the most versatile lineup of sedans and SUVs, like the Hyundai Elantra or Santa Fe. Plus, your choice of standard engines, plug-in hybrid, or fully electric vehicles. Right now, lease the 2024 Hyundai Kona SE for $199 per month for 24 months and 12,000 miles per year. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Shopper Assurance. America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Start your deal online at woodhousehyundai.com today. Browse our inventory, personalize your payments, apply for financing, and more. Convenience delivered every time. This is Woodhouse Hyundai. With approved credit, tax title license extra. First payment $3,999 down plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Get more with Murphy Tractor. Each of our 29 locations offers new, used, and rental John Deere construction equipment, an extensive parts inventory, as well as other complimentary products. We also have a full team of Capstone certified technicians with field service capabilities. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Typical studies involve medications for acne, allergies, chronic diseases, depression, and others. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages, conducting innovative research that has a positive impact on lives. Click for current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com. More trials are launching in March. Compensation for study-related time and travel. Find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage, and it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
There's no better thing than to help others in their time of need. John Bishop here to invite you to be an organ and tissue donor at goodguysavelives.com. Anyone can register, regardless of age or medical condition. Donor hearts and lungs save lives. Donor tissue makes recovery from surgery easier. Next time you renew your license, check that organ and tissue donor box or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell, the AB3, on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
This might be a decent lead-in here for our friend Allan Bell. Let's go to the Omaha Scanner Twitter account. Injured person, 32nd and L, male in his 70s, hit by a loose bull in the parking lot. E3 on location, quote, "We have a bull on approach. Medic 3, have you found the injured party? Negative. We're trying to find him, but the bull is chasing people."
Bull, like a Chicago bull.
The bull, a literal bull.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So something's going on in South Omaha today. So we bring in Allan Bell of AB3. Joins us now on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline. AB, hi.
Hello. Look, the bull is trying to get out of paying his entry fee for this for his brackets. That's what the bull's doing.
He's just trying to strong arm his way through it. That's a good way to do it. If you're a bull, I mean, you probably have the means to not be able to pay for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing though, that it's kind of a one-trick pony here. That's all he's got. So if you can manage this, all right. I feel sorry for the one entrant that we have there.
Yeah.
Break. Hope he's all right.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
All right, you got a bracket. Are you more of a bracket guy, or are you just betting as we go? Like this is interesting from like a quote unquote gambling guy. Like, how are you approaching the tournament?
So you asked a really good question, and look, I'm both. All right, big bracket guy for sure, but I love betting. The games individually, and that is the question that you just asked is very important because you have to look at both separately. They're not the same. Okay. Like, essentially,
Yes.
Your brackets are money lines, all right? You're picking winners here. So you could use it if you like to, kind of put together parlays. However, from a betting perspective, completely different than what you're looking at, especially, Thursday, Friday games, because you're going to have spreads that are 14.5, 20.5, right? That's a good distinction. You have to separate the two.
Yeah, and so you cannot bet your like, if you bet your bracket, you're going to end up sad probably because your bracket's going to get busted anyway, and there's a pretty good chance your bets get busted too.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, you got to be careful there, and especially, I mean, this year, what we saw last year, right? Like, there's so much parity in college basketball that you're either going to get ridiculously super chalk, or you're just going to get chaos. And my guess is we're going to get chaos.
Yeah, it usually does end up that way. Although, I don't know, just quick glances through it this year, and now, we've had it in our hands for more than 24 hours now, and we're starting to really think about it a little bit more with the first 4 starting up tonight. It was difficult to identify. Like, I don't see a whole lot of like America's teams this year. You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got left at home, which was really sad. Like they would have obviously been a pick for people to go to the Sweet 16. I don't know. Have you identified some teams who you've been like, this is like a double-digit seed that could potentially do it this year?
Yeah, okay, so two come to mind, all right? Grand Canyon, if they get past St. Mary's, all right? Grand Canyon is a good basketball team. Bryce Drew has done a heck of a job with them. And then McNeese State, although their coach being Will Wade, I don't know if they're going to be the darling, but they could be like the WWE heel of the tournament, right? Because I don't know if Will Wade's going to get a lot of sympathy after, the FBI investigation. But they're a really good basketball team, and they don't let up. Like, they hammer people. So those are kind of your two teams to look out for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I like those picks. I don't, there's a couple different storylines. Like, you got the Long Beach State coach who got fired last week, and they're in the NCAA tournament. That's a funny one. Nebraska is trying to win their first ever NCAA tournament game, which is absolutely insane. And then you have, here's the thing that's making me angry this week. How many people are quoting the KenPom stat of the teams that could win the national championship? We know. Yeah. We know. It's always the best teams that win the national championship. It's okay.
We get it. I'm 100% with you on that one. That Nebraska game, by the way, is going to be an awesome first-round game.
So you know the side story to that game?
No, tell me.
The side story is that randomly last week, Nebraska's athletic director decided he was going to go be the athletic director at Texas A&M.
Yep. Wow.
And so they play each other in the first round in both the men's and the women's bracket, which...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so people are a little bit on edge up here. There's a lot of emotions going on right now. And so it's going to be something down close to you in Memphis this weekend with Nebraska.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude, that's fascinating. And the fact that it's men's and women.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So there's always this theory of like, oh, yeah, the committee, they know what they're doing. In situations like this, I'm almost forced to believe it. Like there's no other reason that it feels not so random.
Mathematically, that's almost impossible.
Right. It feels maybe not so random. Okay. Yeah. The other thing, or a couple more things that we're looking at here with the bracket. You mentioned it in your tweet to us today. So Creighton's a 3 in the Midwest. Tennessee's a 2 in the Midwest. That would potentially line them up in the Sweet 16. I like Creighton to get to that point. Tennessee would have to go through, probably either Texas or Colorado State to get to that point. They're going to beat St. Peter's. They're not going to fall to the Peacocks like they did, like Kentucky did a couple years ago. So we might have a little fun Allan Bell, Connor Happer show kind of matchup here in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, dude, that could be a great showdown, right? And I'll say this. Our man Harry Schwab told me to tell you guys that he's all Creighton in that one. Loves it. He's been riding Creighton for a while. That would be a great matchup. And Tennessee fans, I mean, they're already on edge because there's just nothing ever guaranteed except NCAA sanctions. So I mean, there's just madness going on. But that would be a heck of a matchup, man. That would be fun.
Your boy Howie, the Schwab has been all over Creighton for like a month now.
Loves him. Yeah.
Why did he do that? How has he discovered them?
Well, first off, I mean, this guy is he's the most intelligent, college basketball person that I've ever been around. All right. He legitimately, just fully understands, I swear to God, every team in the tournament. I mean, he's breaking down players. He's breaking down defenses. This guy is just a savant in college basketball. And he's been on Creighton, like you said, man, for a while. Half the season, it feels like. And rightfully so. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's rare that Howie misses. It's sports betting. It's sports madness, right? Anything could happen. But he's been pretty spot on with what Creighton's going to do. And he's kind of called it game by game. So, yeah, feel good. Creighton's got the mojo, man.
Does he have them, how far does he have them going?
I believe he's got them playing. I guess Purdue. I guess
that would be the Elite Eight game. Yeah.
Yeah, the Elite Eight. Correct. Yeah.
We'll take it.
I think he has Purdue. Yeah, I think he has Purdue going to the Final Four. But yeah, I mean, he's got Creighton going. At least that far.
It would be Creighton's second loss in a row in the Elite Eight, which is crazy to think about. They lost on a weird foul call.
Here's a question, real quick. So with that, right? Like, let's just say that happens. All right, 2 years in a row. Like, it stinks because you always want to win a title, right? But 2 straight, like, Elite Eights, like, that is impressive. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's something to feel good about, even though you hate when a season ends. Like, that's the kind of spot where I fall into, like, is that something that, like, you're proud of? Like, as a fan, you're like, okay, all right, we got something. You know what I mean?
Well, so I put myself in the shoes of, like, right now, and the way I think about making the Elite Eight last year. If you talk about the way that the game ended, which was on a foul call at the end, like, it's still is gut-wrenching, and they could have, theoretically won the national championship last year because they kind of all fell in front of them that way. But still, just saying it out loud, like, Creighton made the Elite Eight last year, and they made now, multiple Sweet 16s, and they win a game, like, pretty much guaranteed every single year in the tournament. That sounds good. And if I was talking to you a year from now and it was 2025 and they were going to the tournament again, and I'm saying they went to 2 straight Elite Eights, yeah, that, like, resonates. That's big time stuff, even though it's hard to convince you in the moment that it's a good thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's the most difficult part because this postseason is unlike any other college or professional postseason. You know what I mean? So it's like the perception is different. I'm with you. It's a tough spot to be, but yeah, it's like that's nothing to be ashamed of. You know what I mean? Like, it's strong. Yeah.
Well, it's the same. Like, we got asked the question yesterday for Nebraska. They've never won an NCAA tournament game, and they made the NCAA tournament. They're an 8 seed. They're going to wear a white jersey in the first game of the NCAA tournament. Is that a successful year? And then if they don't win, they'll be 0-8 all time in the tournament. Everybody will be like, what the hell are we going to do here? How are we ever going to win an NCAA tournament game? But they made the NCAA tournament. Like, that's a good thing. They were one of the top 30, 40 teams in college basketball this year.
Yep, absolutely, man. And you know what? That makes me want to bet Nebraska because it's like, they all know what time it is.
Yeah.
You're going to get max effort on that. Yeah.
So
that's a fascinating look.
Do you know, are you aware of the presence of a person named Keisei Tominaga?
No.
Okay. So you're going to find out about this on Friday night and you're going to be amazed. The Nebraska basketball Cornhuskers they finished 3rd place in the Big Ten this year. And they've been really good basically the entire year. They've been really, really good for like the last month or so now. Ended up getting an 8 seed, but their best player, or their most notable player, is a like 6'1" Japanese guy who like makes threes routinely from like half court just because he decides that he's going to shoot every single. He's like the ultimate heat check guy, and the buzz that happens in the crowd when he touches the basketball is unlike anything that really I've ever seen. It is amazing. So the tournament will fall in love with this guy if Nebraska wins the game. I'm just preparing you for it.
Oh, God, I love it. Especially that he's firing from super deep, too. Like, he's firing from logos. Dude, he's Steph Curry.
They call him the Japanese Steph Curry. That's what they call him.
I love it. This is my new favorite dude. Like, this is my guy. This is my team.
I'm telling you, this is we can't wait for when they get on the on the post-game show or whatever, and Charles Barkley gets up there and he starts talking about Keisei Tominaga. It's going to be one of the best things to ever happen in Nebraska basketball history.
Yes, I am all in on this. I am all in on it.
Anything you like, just bet-wise from the first weekend? Have you mapped it out yet on what you're planning on?
Yeah, so, I'll say this, early games on Thursday, Fridays, unders hit at like a 61% clip, so pay attention there. Tennessee against St. Peter's. Let me tell you this. Rick Barnes is catching massive heat from Knoxville and the state of Tennessee specifically because great regular season, early exits in the tournament. What happens in the SEC tournament? First game, they're the 1 seed. They get blown out by Mississippi State. They are going to score 7,000 points against St. Peter because I mean they're just like there's no stopping. Like they have to go. So the over under is set at like 129.5.
Yep.
Like I'm not kidding.
That's what I'm looking at.
90 points. Yeah, they'll score 90 points in that game. So take the over in that one.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just to bleep you like, no, this is not happening. Not today.
No, I assure you that they've been going through a week of absolute hell in practice. They will beat the hell out of St. Peter.
All right. Well, then it potentially could set up then when we have you on next week, we'll be setting up Creighton in Tennessee in the Sweet 16. It could happen.
Dude, that's got to happen. I hope that it happens 100%. Yes.
All right, dude. Enjoy the weekend. We appreciate it as always. And we'll talk to you next week.
Hey, sounds good, brother. Be good, man. Take care.
Allan Bell, the AB3. Get on with AB and the Schwab for all your Creighton basketballs going to the Elite Eight takes.
I like that we can educate Allan because
it's so much fun to tell people.
Show.
I feel like a true Nebraskan, you know, like a Nebraskan at the airport wearing my Nebraska shirt. I'm like, listen, here's a little alley-oop for you. I'm going to tell you about this Keisei Tominaga guy, and you need to start telling your friends because you're going to seem like the smartest guy in the room on Friday night, and he starts bombing away. He's got 30, and
you're like, yeah, I've already heard of that.
The whole country is obsessed with him, but you've already told your friends about it. It's coming. I just want to make people look good. We're just dishing out assists, Josh.
We're helping, yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Unselfish play from us.
We're like Tyler Kolek, except for we can read. All right. Josh has the odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone. Say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tourney. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a one seed, it's time to go dancing on America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Think about that. Your first $5 bet. You heard Allan Bell just there. Why not take the over in Tennessee and St. Peter's? 129.5. Tennessee's about to drop 100 themselves. Feels like St. Peter's is maybe good for 30. So, if you're right, there you go. You got your $200 in bonus bets right there. That's $200 to use on the rest of the tournament. Point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win it all. Head to FanDuel.com/Happer right now and bet on college hoops all the way until they cut down the nets. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 the email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A very sunny and warm Tuesday afternoon, a high temperature around 65 degrees, but a strong northwest wind at 10 to gusting to 30 miles per hour. Will be clear overnight, starting temperature tomorrow near 30 degrees, and a slightly cooler high temperature at around 46 degrees for tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
College basketball's biggest tournament is coming, and it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Download your new bookie before all of the March action at circasports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Typical studies involve medications for high cholesterol, diabetes, infectious diseases, and others. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages, conducting innovative research that has a positive impact on lives. Click for current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com. More trials are launching in March. Compensation for study-related time and travel. Find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
It is time for the odd news. Josh has it. Josh?
I do. Hello. How are we all doing today?
So good.
Been a minute since we have had a truck spill of the week.
Oh.
But we do have one today in Mississippi.
What do we got going on in Mississippi?
An 18-wheeler carrying bees.
Oh, not bees.
Overturned
Not
Sunday
the bees!
Adams County EMA director Brad Bradford said, quote, "This was my first bee catastrophe."
Nice.
He says the incident happened at 11:30 p.m. on Highway 61 in front of Merritt Health. The scene was not cleared until 7 a.m. Monday. Several representatives from Honey Farms in Woodville rushed to the site and smoked the area to help keep the bees relaxed until the hives could be loaded and transported back to Woodville. According to Bradford, the bees were able to stay calm because the hives had been covered in a tarp and it was nighttime. Crisis averted.
Thank God. Thank God. Could you imagine? The truck spills in front of you and out come the bees. What would that look like?
It would look like Tommy Boy.
It would look like bees.
Follow my lead.
God.
Save yourself. Don't be a hero.
I'm allergic to bees.
Oh, yeah, me too. We go across the pond for story number 2. Atop of the table, that means standings in soccer talk, Connor.
Thank you.
Atop of the table, English Women's Soccer League game with a crowd of nearly 33,000 suffered a delayed kickoff on Friday.
Somebody pulled the fire alarm?
No, that would be hilarious, though. Because the teams had matching socks, Arsenal turned up at Chelsea with the same colored white socks, forcing referee Rebecca Welsh to delay the start.
Well, you can't do that.
Yeah. Arsenal women ended up going into the Chelsea mega store at Stamford Bridge and bought black socks. They used tape to try and hide the Chelsea and Nike logos. Arsenal's kit is made by Adidas. The match, started 30 minutes late.
Well, I mean, come on. Of course, it should have been delayed hours.
Yeah. I mean,
if not days.
How am I supposed to know which team's which if they're wearing the same color socks?
Socks. Well, you're only, when you watch soccer, I just watch the feet.
Yeah. White socks, black socks. One of you needs to be wearing one of each.
Maybe the emergence of soccer is running congruently with America's obsession with feet now.
Is that why women's soccer is so much popular?
That's why.
Ooh,
that's why.
Get them feetsies.
We're a sick country.
Full question?
Country. Yeah. Are we a sick country?
Yeah.
I'll put that one.
Finally, Connor, I know you were very busy this weekend, so you might not have seen this story from over the weekend involving
Josh.
Bruno Mars.
Oh, he has gambling debt.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Big rumor over the weekend, $50 million in gambling debt at MGM Resorts. I don't know what's true and what's not, but MGM Resorts is telling you it's not true.
Did we hit up the Las Vegas Locally Twitter account yet for this?
They have also said that, boy, that sure seems impossible. Bruno Mars does not owe millions in gambling debt to MGM Resorts, despite what a recent report claimed. A rep for MGM says the singer doesn't have a $50 million gambling tab on the books with them, even though some recently alleged the opposite. Instead, MGM came to Bruno's defense, calling the allegation he owes a massive sum completely false. In fact, the Las Vegas hotspot is super excited to collaborate with the Grammy winner again in the future. Not exactly I don't know about this article, because if Bruno Mars owed me $50, I would make him collaborate with me.
So I don't get it. Is this just is this a rumor?
It is a rumor that got started because Bruno Mars does like to play the tables,
and
so
they have
speak.
and MGM and Bruno have some sort of partnership.
They have partnered before. Apparently, they will partner again. Boy, that sure seems like something you'd make somebody do if they owed you $50 million.
No, if you wanted to, casinos do this to bigwigs, superstars who like to play the tables. They give them a significant credit line.
Yeah.
They'll say, yeah, if you want to go and put $1 million, or it's probably not even that much, like a couple, $100,000 or something like that. We'll take care of you because we're partners.
So I saw the
$50 million.
I saw the story. I did a little research because I just found it interesting whether it was true or not. Went to the Las Vegas Locally, denying that that's a thing that could even be
That's
true.
the all-knowing account.
Right.
We have to, that account knows.
And then I dove into the comments of that tweet because I figured there will be somebody who claims to know something. Now, again, this is just a comment on Twitter. I don't know if this person knows what they're talking about, but they said, yeah, Dana comes in here all the time and his limit is $10 million. And who's more of Vegas, quote unquote, Dana White or Bruno Mars?
Dana White.
Yeah, I would think so as well. And his line is 1/5 of $50 million. So it would be pretty impossible to get to $50 million is what this Twitter user was saying.
I wonder what Circa will give us when we get there next week.
$5.
I don't think they'll give us anything.
They got those tight money line splits, though.
Yeah, they do. That's true. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
First team AP All-American. You ready?
Me?
You are not. You did not make the list this year.
Snubbed again.
Zach Edey.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Dalton Connect.
Also makes sense.
Jamal Shed.
Okay.
RJ Davis.
Yeah, I know him.
Tristan Newton. AP second team All-American. Tyler Kolek.
Can't read.
Mark Sears. Deron Holmes. Kyle Filipowski. Hunter Dickinson. AP third team. I wonder how many, maybe they do 7 teams. Third team All-American. Johnny Broom.
Great name.
Jaden Ledee. Terrence Shannon. Caleb Love. Baylor Shireman. I know that guy.
I got some questions here.
Why?
I didn't know all those people before you said Baylor Shireman.
Really?
I knew a lot of them. I knew probably like the first half of that list, and then it got into like hit and miss.
So you don't know where Jaden Ledee goes to college?
I do not. I feel comfortable admitting that publicly.
Creighton's played him in the NCAA tournament 2 years in a row now.
San Diego State.
That's right. Very good. Johnny Broom.
Great name.
Maybe they call him Joni. But I believe he's he's an older guy now. Auburn. The only reason I know a lot of these other guys is because, well, no, I'm not. I'm going to give myself credit on this one. I actually do know ball.
Ball.
Yeah,
Just say it, Connor.
I actually do know ball. I actually watch these guys play.
Don't be humble.
They're all Americans.
Nobody comes to this show for being humble.
They're all Americans. I my vote for the Wooden Award came through yesterday.
Oh,
so I had to peruse that.
Is it like the Heisman and you can't say who you voted for?
I actually don't know the rules.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble. So
I feel like I've said it before.
I won't press you. I believe you mentioned who you would theoretically vote for.
Maybe if the voting is closed, when the voting closes next week, we'll have a big show and I'll tell people who I voted for the National Player of the Year. Zach Edey. But don't tell anybody. Yeah. I'll get in trouble with John R. Wooden.
Everybody be cool.
The ghost of John Wooden.
They'll leave you at the bottom of the pyramid.
All right. Noon hour's coming up. I have discovered a beautiful, lovely, lovely tool for the NCAA tournament. And I have some stats for you. We're just gonna bombard you with statistics revolving around our local basketball teams regarding the NCAA tournament coming up. That's a reason to listen. We're going to bombard you with statistics next on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
You know what mentality can help you with? Low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritability, impatience, anxiety, and depression. Mentality can help you with their board-certified physicians and their testosterone treatments that can take care of you and get you back in the game. You can regain normal function and restore your ability to perform normally at all levels just by mentality. Set up an appointment today. Go to lowtusa.com. Get back in the game. Don't sit on the sidelines and let mentality lead the way.
Oddly, he's interesting because he's so uninteresting. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't settle for anyone more interesting. Let's get to work on your business and personal taxes, payroll and employee benefits, QuickBooks and retirement planning. Call me.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit BEPCPA.com.
When it comes to concrete repair, Everlevel has some serious game. Coach Greg McDermott here to coach you on why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. They've got the fundamentals to fix your cracked and uneven concrete, and their products will give you the best defense against future damage. It's a fraction of the price compared to replacement, and their solutions come with a long-term transferable warranty. Working with Everlevel is a slam dunk. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today for your free inspection.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by.
Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
College basketball's biggest tournament is coming, and it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight money line splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Download your new bookie before all of the March action at circasports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, I promise you we're going to inundate you with stats, but
numbers, math radio.
Let's go. This is a place we don't go very often, Josh.
Well, you're banned from this place. So.
I am. I didn't see this, admittedly, because I'm not allowed to. Let's head over to the Pat McAfee show just a few moments ago as they begin to think about college basketball for the first time this year. And they've discovered something. I wonder what they've discovered, Josh. Let's listen in.
I opened my phone, and this man named Josh, what's his name?
Reynolds.
Josh Reynolds put out a tweet from SB Nation, and he said, just wait, folks. Just wait. Friday, 6/20, Nebraska will be playing their first game in the NCAA tournament, and they have a player named Keisei Tominaga, who they are calling the Japanese Steph Curry.
Yes.
And I have no idea how we have gotten this far into the men's college basketball season without knowing this human exists. Now, there is.
You want to keep going? It turns the corner.
It's
right
okay.
here.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Play it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just play it.
Chance. It's because he can't really speak much English.
Yeah.
He had an interview with Andy Katz, I believe is his name, after a game in the Big Ten tournament. And this is how.
Yeah, you cut it out there.
Andy Katz, I believe, is his name. It's Andy Katz.
Once again, not knowers of ball, but that's okay. Yeah. So
they're all in.
This is really going to happen.
Yeah.
It's really going to happen.
Just win one
game. Just win one game. Win one game. God, it is going to take off like wildfire with that gentleman. And by the way, they played the whole. It was like a 4-minute interview with Andy Katz, and Tominaga. Like it is hard for him because he doesn't speak English particularly well, but he has really grown in that category. But he said something interesting, and that is a good viewpoint into his mindset, which is if I make the first shot, I'm good.
And that
tracks pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if the big stat book that I'm about to quote here has any stats behind that. When Keisei Tominaga makes the first shot, does he make like the next 6?
It's got everything else in there.
All right. So yeah, this is a great deal that I found last night. And by great deal, I mean free. You don't find stuff like this on the internet for free. So I got to give a shout out to Matt Eisenberg, who published the 2024 NCAA tournament guide. It is full of every statistical piece of information that you could ever dream of having. It is almost 200 pages. I stared at it for 3 hours last night, and my eyes burned out of their own sockets. It was amazing. It was the greatest painful experience I've ever had in my entire life. And I read everything that I could, including, historical seeds versus historical seeds, which is something that I want to get to here in just a second. Every team's, basically team sheet pages, but it's not just resume stuff. It's like how they actually play basketball. It's just awesome. It almost feels like a college football preview, but it's just for one tournament. It feels like a Phil Steele magazine for
it
one
really
tournament.
does. Good comp.
And they quote some good stats in there that are kind of proprietary stuff. Like they have some stats that you can only find on Synergy, which is the stuff that the team uses to find out more information about where players are good and to find edges and stuff like that. And some of those things are in there for individual guys. It's really good. I can't recommend it enough. I don't know Matt, but man, he did everybody a really good solid here. With that being said, I am going to cherry pick some of the information that I've seen in there and send it your guys' way. Much like we're helping out Allan Bell understand Keisei Tominaga. All right, so Creighton's at 3, Akron's a 14. So let's go through some seed stats on 3s versus 14s. All right. The 3s are 34-6 in the last 10 tournaments. 34-6 in the last 10 tournaments. That number is not particularly surprising, but it is, it's steep. When the 3 is favored by 12.5 or more, which Creighton is favored by 12.5 at the moment, the 3 is 23-3 straight up. So this is all boding well for Creighton. And this includes Creighton this time. When the 3 has a KenPom rating that is 100 spots better than the 14, which Creighton does qualify there, the 3 is 22-1 straight up.
Okay.
The last 14 to beat a 3 was 3 years ago when Texas lost to Abilene Christian. Do you remember the Abilene Christian game?
I
yes. So that bodes well. I mean, it was going to bode well. You don't need many stats to show you that. But if you're worried, there's any uncertainty, if you're worried about going to Akron's backyard and Zip Nation always showing up, there's a little bit of comfort for you. 34-6 in the last 10 tournaments for 3 seeds. Now we'll go back to Creighton in a second, but let's go to the 8 versus 9. Nebraska's an 8, Texas A&M's a 9. Now, just curious, Josh, how would you think that 8s versus 9s over a long period of time, maybe 10 or so tournaments, would play out?
My guess would be 50-50, close to it. How'd I do?
50-50. Exactly. Over the last 10 tournaments, 8s are 20-20, 9s are 20-20.
Exactly.
You put 8s and 9s into a pile and you mix them all up and they're all the same.
Interesting.
And one's wearing a white jersey, one's wearing a colored jersey. The last 15 tournaments is where we find an edge.
Love an edge.
8s are 32-28 over the last 15 tournaments.
It's a 5-game advantage.
It's a 4-game advantage.
Damn.
32-28.
32. Sorry.
When the 8 seed has an offensive efficiency of 115 or better, which Nebraska very clearly does at this point, the 8 seed is 8-5 straight up against the 9 and 7-6 against the spread. So, I mean, basically all that is to tell you it's a toss-up. Everybody thinks it's a toss-up. 8-9s are a toss-up every year. 7-10s are basically a toss-up every year. It is a toss-up. Historically.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think Nebraska is better than Texas A&M. In fact, on this, now I would have to scroll down to the page. On this, big booklet this psychopath put out.
It's like 250 pages.
It's absolutely insane.
I want to print off every single one. So
I know you do.
So I'm prepared because I love a hard copy.
You'd have to go to Office Depot and give them your credit card for a few minutes.
I would honestly feel bad about doing it here, which I did not think was possible.
But they do have like some like, what should the team have been seeded? Were they underseeded? Were they overseeded? They call it like the S curve of where you should have been compared to where you were. And I'm trying to find it right now. But basically, oh yeah, here it is. S curve positioning, over and under seeded teams. So maybe not so coincidentally, South Carolina is the most, how do we put this? It's always very confusing. When I say overseeded, what do you think that I mean by that? Overseeded. They are better.
Their current seed is better than what you would think.
That is what has happened to South Carolina.
Okay.
Well, hold on. What did you just say? They're better than the seed would think?
Like if they're
okay, this is going to be hard.
What is South Carolina's seed?
South Carolina's a 6.
Okay. If you told me that they were
the actual, they are the 24th overall seed line in the tournament.
Okay. If you told me they were overseeded, I would think, oh, so they should be like an 8 or a 9.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is what has happened to South Carolina.
Okay.
Their expected overall seed line was 36. They ended up at 24,
okay,
which was a 6. So which they should have ended up being, higher than that. I know that's very confusing, but I apologize. Creighton was seated right on the line according to the information that they have. Nebraska, as this will be a juicy piece of meat for Nebraska fans. Nebraska underseeded. Nebraska should have been the 25th, according to this information, should have been the 25th on the seed line for this NCAA tournament, and they ended up being 29th.
Interesting.
What, Josh?
Almost like the bracket was manipulated.
Now I will say
to create a matchup.
Now I will say this. This is an important note here. In last year's tournament, the teams who got seeded in a better position than they maybe should have been based on their resume, they all performed really well.
Oh.
Which you would think it would be the opposite, right? That
yes.
they would have gotten a good break and they're a fraud of a 4 or a fraud of a 5 or whatever it was. Those teams, Northwestern, K-State, Missouri, and Miami, were 8 spots too high. All 4 won in the round of 64, with Missouri and Northwestern losing in the second round, and K-State made the Elite 8. And then Miami reached the Final Four. So it's kind of an interesting statistic in that regard. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Let's see. 8 9s. I gave you the stats on that. Now let's go ahead around. Creighton versus the 6, South Carolina. The 3 versus the 6. Here's what happens. 3s are 22-5 against 6s in the last 15 tournaments.
Wow.
So when that matchup happens, specifically 3-6, 3s advance way more often than not. 22-5 in the last 15 tournaments. 9-2 in the last 5, and 4-2 in the last 3. And by the way, one of those losses by the 3 was handed out last year by Creighton, who was a 6, who beat Baylor in Denver as a 3. So Creighton's responsible for one of the 5 losses that 6s or that 3s had to 6s over the last 15 years. So that bodes well for the Jays, obviously. Let's do 3 versus 11. This would be Creighton versus Oregon. Dana Altman. 3s are this is actually a really interesting one. So we're talking about if Creighton advances past Akron and they get to the point in the second round where instead of beating the higher seeded South Carolina, they will instead get 11 seed Oregon. In that situation, 3 versus 11s, 3s are only 14-12 in the last 15 tournaments.
Whoa.
So they are they're if the 11 gets through that first game against the 6, they're actually pretty likely to make the Sweet 16 and beat the 3. And that's,
that's wild.
We've seen some first 4 teams come out of there. Yeah. We've seen, the kind of plucky mid-major team that's a little bit like, ooh, boy. And you know what they always do with those 11s and those 12s? They always put really competitive mid-major teams there, and they always come in with the record about 30-3, and they'll play like the crappiest, like lock NCAA tournament team that they could find. And so there they go, and they advance through to the Sweet 16. However, actually, you know what? So 14 and 12 in the last 15 tournaments, 3s versus 11s. Amazing. 3 and 5 in the last 5, and 2 and 3 in the last 3.
Whoa. Hey.
So 11s
are good.
Yeah. Huh. So I know people are already a little bit scared of the idea of Creighton against Oregon because of the Dana Altman thing. That should make you maybe a little bit more scared.
Terrified.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I got an 11 going pretty far? Yeah, keep going.
Take a look. You could dive all into this later, Josh, before you fill out your bracket.
No, I've already filled it out.
Let's do 1s versus 8s.
Oh, I like New Mexico. Okay.
All right. 1s versus 8s.
1 and 8.
1 and 8. That's Nebraska against Houston. That's the matchup we expect.
Houston, as some people call it.
Nebraska advances past the first round. Houston will not be losing to a 16 seed this year. I apologize to whoever that is. Wagner, maybe, or something like that.
Wow, the disrespect.
Longwood. No, Wagner plays tonight in the first 4.
That's right.
Who does Houston get in their first game, Josh? You get your bracket up?
I don't have my paper copy. Houston, Longwood. The Lancers, who love our show.
That's right. They're in our Minchies. 1 versus 8. 1s are 25-7 versus 8s in the last 15 tournaments. But 4-3 in the last 5 and 3-3 in the last 3. There have been some 1s to go down in the second round more recently. Obviously, we've talked about this trend in the NCAA tournament where things have gotten maybe a little bit tighter in that back range of the tournament. It's not necessarily that the 1s are any less good. It's that the back of the pack has come a little bit closer to the front of the pack. So it doesn't surprise me that some of these numbers have tightened up over the last 5 or 10 years here. But 25-7 in the last 15, 1s versus 8s. Usually it's set up pretty well for a 1 to make the Sweet 16. That's what they earned. And then better seeds in general. So I'll use the one that applies to Creighton. I'll use the one that applies to Nebraska. If you are just better seeds, if you are a better seed and a 12.5 to 20-point favorite in your first round game, you are 89-9 straight up. Because that's all that matters, right? We're not talking about betting here. We're talking about friggin' winning the tournament. Winning one game at the tournament. So that's Creighton. For Nebraska, they'll be a 0 to 3-point favorite. I believe they're currently 1.5 or 2.5. If you check our friends from the FanDuel Sportsbook. So we'll say as a 0 to 3-point favorite, better seeds are just 42 and 44 straight up. Not surprising. Once again, short spread, and the statistics bear that out as well. And in an 8-9 game or a 7-10 game, it's all going to be pretty close. So there's your stats.
Evan Maya.
Do you feel inundated?
I do. And I would like to further inundate. Evan Maya has updated that chart, that graph that we showed.
Oh, Evan.
And
yes, the preeminent nerd.
Creighton has fallen out of the title contender category, and Nebraska has floated out of the high ceiling, low floor category.
Where did they float to, Josh?
They're just kind of in no man's land.
Oh, well, that's not a place where you want to go.
No, but it's right next to Texas A&M, which is interesting. But it's also right next to New Mexico, which a lot of people like to advance pretty far in this tournament. Creighton is in what is called the cool zone with...
What's the cool zone?
I think might be teams that have cooled off. It doesn't really define cool zone, but it's got Gonzaga, Michigan State, Kansas, Kentucky, and Illinois.
Well, it seems like a pretty cool place to be. Those
Yeah.
teams are good, with the exception of Michigan State.
It's got some question marks.
Yeah, they do. They do. Well, whatever. Analytics don't matter anymore, Josh.
There's that Cinderella upside category we told you about last time we did this. There are 4 teams in there. UAB, Duquesne, Vermont, and Charleston, which I've got 3 of those teams winning their first round games, so I feel pretty good about my bracket.
Good job. Okay. Thank you, preeminent nerd of college basketball, Evan Maya. We appreciate it as always. It's very nice.
This is a very nerdy segment.
Incredibly nerdy segment. This is all the stats that you could ever need. Somebody on the text line, here's Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Who says, okay, what about the 10 versus 10 and the 11 versus 11 play-in? Who's got the edge in those? I don't know. I didn't look at that on the stats on the stupid. I'm sure it's in here though. This thing is ridiculous.
10s are 5 and 5 against 10s.
If you want to see what I'm talking about, go back to my tweet from last night on this. And I mean, it's unbelievable. I feel like I should be paying money for this.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm very happy to not be paying money for it, but yeah. And I also feel like I want to make a hard copy and put it in a binder, but I'll refrain. I'll use it digitally.
I'm going to put it in my Trapper Keeper.
Quick timeout. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk about maybe a little bit of the portal, top 50 players in the NCAA tournament, and the first 4 tonight, which I do have a little bit of a take on.
Oh.
Not necessarily who's going to win or anything like that, but what has happened. Josh, you asked a question to me on Selection Sunday. You said, I might not know ball, but why are 10s in the first 4 this year?
Yeah, I thought it was always 11s.
Well, I'll tell you why it's not. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Get ready for warm weather driving and save with early spring tire deals at Jensen Tire and Auto. With 21 convenient locations throughout Omaha and in Lincoln, Fremont, and Council Bluffs, drive in today and save up to $200 when you buy a new set of 4 Goodyear tires with a Jensen Drive-Out package using your Goodyear credit card. Save up to $100 on new Cooper tires and up to $70 on a new set of General tires. Click on JensenTireandAuto.com for details on Jensen's early spring tire deals. With 21 stores to serve you, your next new set of tires are close by. And so are the savings, including Jensen instant rebates on new sets of 4 select Continental, General, Maxxis, and Kelly tires. Check out all of Jensen's early spring tire deals at JensenTireandAuto.com and to request an appointment today. Jensen Tire and Auto, locally owned and family owned since 1973. Limited time offers. Visit a Jensen store near you or click on JensenTireandAuto.com for complete details.
Riding season is here, and it's time to trade in and trade up. Or, if you ain't riding it, Luss Hills Harley Davidson is buying it. Sell your Harley Davidson today. Luss Hills Harley Davidson. Rise up and ride on.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey everyone, Josh and John here for the FanDuel Sportsbook. From upsets to buzzer beaters, nothing compares to college basketball in March, and that is why FanDuel is giving everyone a no-sweat bet from now until March the 20th. It does not matter if you are new to FanDuel or if you already have an account. You'll get bonus bets back if that bet does not win. You can even use your no-sweat bet on a college hoops parlay. Just go to FanDuel.com/1620 today.
Josh, in the spirit of the college basketball playoff, this is no time to slow it up. FanDuel giving everyone a no-sweat bet from now until March 20th, and that's for new and existing customers. Bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. Find out more by visiting FanDuel.com/1620. 21 plus and present in Iowa. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
All right, one more trend. Thanks to Platcat for tweeting this.
Oh, thanks,
to us.
Platcat. Hi, Platcat.
So this is a screenshot from Reddit. A disturbing bracket trend. In every tournament since 2021, a top 2 seed is lost in the first round to a team with a phallic or euphemistic nickname or name. Sorry. In 2021, Oral Roberts beat Ohio State.
That's right. Remember all that fun we had at the College World Series?
In 2022, St. Peter's beat Kentucky. And in 2023, Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue.
People forget.
3 years in a row. Once is happenstance, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is officially a pattern. Watch out for Houston and Longwood.
Oh, wow. Let's go.
There you go. There's your stats. We're trying to prepare you to fill out your brackets as best as we possibly can.
That's a good note.
It's not a good note.
No, it's a great note.
It's a note.
We got a real trend here.
Yeah,
quantifiable research.
Watch out for those wiener teams.
Now that's 6.
If there's ever Wiener State who pops up, then you know who to vote for.
Now that's just 16s over ones.
No, St. Peter's was a 15.
Okay. Would Illinois losing their first round game qualify?
I think we would. I think we would make room for them, just like the Ken Pom stat.
Okay.
You know the Ken Pom stat that we just manipulate to include a national champion on it, like they did. So if they don't have the anomaly in there, they don't say like, "Hey, it's top 20 offense, top 25 defense," except for 2014. Sometimes they say they were a top 25 offense and a top 40 defense. So they just include that everything. And that includes everybody. So we just move it back to a 4 seed.
Because Illinois and Morehead State have the same record.
Oh, no. Morehead could catch them. And I do firmly believe that Omaha is upset city.
Hashtag it.
Upset city.
Let's go.
Check out the Baby Bob. Well, not yet.
Not yet.
They're building it over there, though.
TBD.
It's looking good. The Baby Bob, which connects to the Bob, which connects to nothing. In Iowa. Nice bridge.
But we're very proud of it for some reason.
We love it. We love the bridge. All right. So tonight's the first 4. And we have the 16 seeds at Wagner and Howard. Should be a horrible game.
Well, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Colorado State and Virginia, who should have never been in the NCAA tournament. And so Josh asked me a question on Sunday night. He said, what's going on here? I thought the 11s were the play-in games. They've done it some years where the 12s have been play-in games, but this is the first year that I can recall that they have been 10s. So winner will get a 7 in the round of 64 in the NCAA tournament. So here's what happened. So remember how we talked about the bid thieves over the weekend?
Dirty bid stealers.
They moved up basically the seed line for the first 4 this year. So those 10 seeds are basically the last 4 in, aka the worst 4 at larges, the 10s that'll play tonight and the 10s that'll play tomorrow night. Basically what happened was there were so many more AQs that ended up below them because they stole all those bids. Usually there will be 3 or 4 of them that pop up and, they've won a small conference title, but they're a 10. They've won a small conference title, but they're an 11. And there'll be a couple of those. Well, those teams didn't win their conference championships this year. Indiana State might have been one of those teams, right?
Bad teams, stinky teams.
And so what happened was we shrunk down the bubble and we kind of and all those AQs got in a little bit lower. And so in essence, what it's happened here, it's the field has been kind of diluted. And so it leads me to this question, Josh.
Oh,
I know we say this every year and we have big picture takes about the bracket and what does it look like? And, what are some of the trends going to be this year? And we're always wrong. We never know what we're talking about. But for the sake of me asking the same question every year, I'll ask it again. Could we be a bit more chalky this year with the lack of quality automatic qualifier teams on the 11 line or below that actually made the NCAA tournament field this year? A lot of those quality mid-major to low-major teams got left at home because mayhem happened in the conference tournament weekend. So I took everybody can look at their bracket right now. Take a few spins through your bracket. I honestly, and that was my first impression of the bracket, and it's nice to kind of, circle it back around and almost have that thought confirmed. But I took a few spins through the bracket last night, and I cannot identify a real big darling of the NCAA tournament this year. Now, those will identify themselves as they win games, and make no mistake about it, there will be upsets. But they seem hard to find this year. They seem hard to find. There's no, I don't look around and see a 13 that everybody's going to love or a 14 that everybody, is going to love. Now, can we see those coming in the first place usually? Yeah, it's less common. It's less common. We didn't see Furman beating Virginia last year.
We did not.
We did not, although we should have, because Virginia is canceled.
Leave them at home.
But do you agree with that? It's a little big picture, and it never really works out that way.
Yeah,
but I do feel like it could end up being sort of chalky in the first round here, just because of the lack of what we have toward the bottom this year.
There really isn't a 14, 15, or 16 that everybody's saying, hey, you got to watch out for blah, blah, blah. Guard play, senior leadership, good coach, played a tough non-con. We don't have those typical things, but it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And we're going to go, whoa, didn't see that coming. And, Janine in accounting did see it coming because she loves their team colors.
Duquesne is an 11. Duquesne, I believe, comes into the NCAA tournament with a net ranking of greater than 80, And so the theory going on of what happened with Duquesne is
they'll be right here in Omaha. Their coach will be on the show tomorrow.
And they might be listening. So welcome to town, Duquesne. Welcome back to the state of Nebraska for the second time this year. Yeah. Congratulations. You have the frequent flyer miles. It's a shame that Redway Airlines went away.
Sure is.
Otherwise, you could have used that. But the theory on what happened with Duquesne is they were just really not prepared for Duquesne to win the A10 conference tournament. And so they had these contingency plans in place. And if you look at all the other 11's net rankings, even NC State, although they're not a mid-major team, New Mexico, even Oregon, once again, also not a mid-major team. They don't look the same as the other ones.
But Oregon won a tournament it was not expected to win.
Correct. Right. It's the same thing with NC State. Mm-hmm. But they're in power conferences,
right?
More power conferences.
Sure.
So that makes sense why their net ranking would be a little bit higher. So I look at the bracket and I'm like, man, it just seems, for whatever reason, it just seems weaker, like in totality.
I mean, it makes sense.
Which could lead to more chaos.
Because you really didn't see it coming.
And we do have the 4, we have the UConn, we have Houston, and we have Purdue that have been the top 3 teams in the country basically the entire year this year. And might it be advantageous for them, or might it be even more insane when they go down at the hands of one of those teams in the first round of the tournament or the second round of the tournament? I don't know. We never know how it's going to shake out, but just a kind of first glance, while it's still clean and there's no spots filled out on this thing for another 5 hours, it just has a little bit of a different feel and look to it this year. I don't know if that's a commentary on the sport. Maybe it's just a commentary like I just explained on the bracket. But it is it's a little, it feels less punchy, there's not that mid-major who you're like, yes, we need to know about this guy because this is the guy that's going to take over the tournament, and he's going to be in your house, he's going to be in your living room, and like I said, maybe those guys just don't identify themselves until after they win a game. That's probably a little bit of it.
So, had Indiana State gotten in, had some of those bids not gotten stolen, they would have been in those spots. It would have pushed down a team like maybe not this team exactly, but like a Grand Canyon or a James Madison. It would have pushed them lower, or a McNeese.
Yes,
might have been lower, and you'd be like 30-3 McNeese,
and that would have made them stronger and more likely to pull the giant upset. Instead, what we got slapped with was, Wagner, who was rated 300, and not that conference champion would have won a game anyway, but they're like 300 in KenPom.
Wagner is 16-15.
Yeah.
Montana State's playing in a play-in game tomorrow. They are 17-17.
Right.
These are not great numbers.
Yeah.
Drunk Monk on YouTube chimes in.
Hi, Drunk Monk on YouTube.
We thank him for doing that. I think the second round is when things get crazy.
What's the reasoning?
I don't know. I'm not in Drunk Monk's head. But if your first round's a little watered down, then your second round might get when a team might get popped.
Just got a text. What if Tucker DeVries becomes the guy that everybody loves?
His dad will be on the show tomorrow.
Interesting. He'll be right here in Omaha, which is, Josh, Upset City.
Upset City. That's right.
Jack John Bracketology. Colorado State is your surprise this year. Got to come out of the first 4 to do it, though. Yeah, they're going to be Virginia. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't have Virginia in this thing. We have to cancel them.
They're going to go on a run just to spite you.
No, they're not. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen.
It'd be bad for the sport.
Also, a quick comment before we take a break here. Yippee.
Hi, Yippee.
Who is that man?
Who is that man?
Who was that man? There was a man in here, Josh.
There was.
And he kind of looked like Michael McDonald.
That's right. He sure did.
That
was our engineer, John. We, if you listened to the intro of the show and went, why did it sound so choppy and inefficient? Well, John made it work.
It works?
I guess we can.
You want to do a test theory?
Yeah, let's do a little test theory.
Throw something on E up there and see what happens.
Okay, let's see.
Play check the back seat. Check the back seat.
The back seat.
Yeah! Nice.
Check the back seat.
Hey!
Check the back seat.
Gets in your head.
I also have not listened to this with headphones on, and it does sound different.
Banger.
Richer.
Right in the drums.
There's stuff going on in the background of that PSA.
You know that meme where the guy's earphones are smoking? They're all like on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me when I'm listening to Check the Back Seat.
I like it. Jingles are back, by the way.
They're so back. Quick time out here. We will come back. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the portal and why it's open today.
Great question.
20 more to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Roughly 11,000 players in college football, so they're getting $600 a piece. If you do the math, that's $6.6 million that they're paying out in NIL deals. No one has negotiated this $6.6 million figure on behalf of any player. This was a number that they set.
Yeah, and I'd be very interested to know how they came to that number, right?
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A very sunny and warm Tuesday afternoon, a high temperature around 65 degrees, but a strong northwest wind at 10 to gusting to 30 miles per hour. Will be clear overnight, starting temperature tomorrow near 30 degrees, and a slightly cooler high temperature at around 46 degrees for tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
You know what Mentality can help you with? Low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritability, impatience, anxiety, and depression. Mentality can help you with their board-certified physicians and their testosterone treatments that can take care of you and get you back in the game. You can regain normal function and restore your ability to perform normally at all levels just by Mentality. Set up an appointment today. Go to lowtusa.com. Get back in the game. Don't sit on the sidelines and let Mentality lead the way.
Hey, basketball fans. When you're in downtown Omaha for the games, remember that Cubby's is just a free throw away at 13th and Jackson. Gear up for pre-parties, tailgates, or post-game. Cubby's has what you need. You'll find a full meat counter with steaks, burgers, chicken, and homemade brats. Hot and fresh deli food, including Chester's Chicken and Godfather's Pizza Express. Pop, water, beer, and a full liquor department. See you at Cubby's Old Market, open 24 hours at 13th and Jackson.
Hey, Omaha dog lovers, get ready for more wags and more fun. Hound HQ, your dog's favorite spot for daycare, boarding, and top-notch grooming is now open. At Hound HQ, there's plenty of space for a pup to sleep, play, and everything in between. Plus, our expert groomers are here to ensure your furry family member always looks fabulous. Join our pack on Facebook and Instagram at The Hound HQ, or visit our website, thehoundhq.com, and sign up your dog today. Hound HQ, more wags, more fun.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Creighton Sports Update.
Hey, Blue Jay fans, it's basketball season here at Creighton, so get your tickets and come out and support your Blue Jays. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com, gocreighton.com/tickets, or visit the ticket office located at Ryan Athletic Center. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
I'm Taylor Bishotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Former Cowboys linebacker Leighton Vander Esch is calling it a career after 6 seasons. The 28-year-old dealt with numerous neck injuries and played in just 5 games last year. The Cowboys drafted Vander Esch in the first round of the 2018 draft. The Bills have agreed on a 3-year, $31 million extension with cornerback Taron Johnson, making him the highest-paid nickel cornerback in the league, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. The Saints signed former 49ers pass rusher Chase Young to a 1-year, $13 million contract, also according to Rappaport. And quarterback Kenny Pickett was traded to the Eagles late last week and dismissed reports on Monday that his negative reaction to the Russell Wilson signing led to his departure from Pittsburgh. Pickett saying in part, "I'm confident in the way I handled it. I handled it the way I should have handled it. I'm excited to be here." This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Hello, I'm David Figueroa, co-founder of Melinda's. We make 32 craft pepper sauces that are thicker, hotter, and better. We use fresh, plant-based ingredients that you can see and taste. One try and you'll fall in love with Melinda's. Melinda's also makes spicy ketchups using real sugar and no high fructose corn syrup. Yuck. Go to Melinda's.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get 20% off our award-winning sauces with code SPORTS at Melinda's.com. That's MELINDAS.com. On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Typical studies involve medications for acne, allergies, chronic diseases, depression, and others. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages, conducting innovative research that has a positive impact on lives. Click for current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com. More trials are launching in March. Compensation for study-related time and travel. Find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, here's one from Matt Norlander.
Hi, Matt.
He asked college basketball coaches in the NCAA tournament what their favorite musical artist was.
Okay, yeah.
So this feels like a July college football coach summer topic, which we always I'll always click on this.
Always.
Pretty
Red
much
meat.
every single time. Yeah, it's great content. And so you're drawn to several things actually. First, you go to either Creighton or Nebraska, depending on who your allegiances lie with, and then the other thing that I try to look for is who do I vibe with.
Okay.
And so there's a few of them on here.
I just saw Dan Hurley's, of course.
We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Hoiberg. Now let's do a little stereotyping. What is Fred Hoiberg?
White.
What does it seem like Fred Hoiberg's favorite music is?
I'm gonna just say whatever, like a popular country artist.
No, he doesn't seem like a country guy.
Even though I think he's classier than that.
He does not seem like a country guy. I actually wouldn't have had this.
Kenny G?
No. Like, if you could find something, it's a little later than classic rock, maybe like an 80s. Like, honestly, Michael McDonald would not be, like, maybe the Doobie Brothers would be pretty good.
Amazing Daniel says Hall & Oates.
Okay, yes, Doobie Brothers, Hall & Oates.
Some yacht rock, yeah.
For sure. He goes a little harder.
Oh.
Queen.
Oh, okay.
I don't think, like, that's in the same territory, but it is maybe not what I would expected for Fred.
Cancel Brad Underwood, by the way.
We're going to get to Brad. We're going to get to a lot of these guys. Let's get the locals. Let's get the locals.
Yeah.
Greg McDermott. What do we know about Greg McDermott? I think he likes relaxing. Also white.
Very sorry.
So what does that combination spit out? Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, okay.
Just Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
He told Matt Norlander that his favorite musical artist was Jimmy Buffett. Brett Underwood, canceled. Morgan Wallen.
You don't have to support this guy.
No, I mean, his music is okay.
Oh.
You could say it, Josh. His music is okay. Probably not your style.
I cannot say it.
It's not your style. You could say it if you thought it.
I'd be lying.
Yeah. You don't think it.
Many other people do what Morgan Wallen does without all that other stuff that Morgan Wallen does.
That's true. You could support other people. Who else were we going to cancel?
Oh, I don't know.
You mentioned another coach before. Yeah, Danny.
Dan Hurley.
Where's the old Danny?
First slide.
Pearl Jam.
Chris Collins, babyface.
Let's see. Who am I vibing with here?
Mark Pope, Taylor Swift at BYU.
No.
Bruce Pearl, Kenny Chesney.
It's funny because Mac said Jimmy Buffett, and one of the coaches who's coaching in the NCAA tournament from his coaching tree, Steve Lutz, Jimmy Buffett. So Mac and Steve Lutz just kicking it back in Omaha, listening to Jimmy Buffett.
My eye was drawn to Shaka Smart's answer.
Okay, what do we got going on for Shaka? Shaka Smart is in what region?
South region, second slide, I believe.
Tupac.
It's different than a lot of the other coaches.
Well,
okay.
What?
I just saw John Calipari's answer.
Okay.
Just a couple notches above Shaka Smart. Drake.
Well, they are best friends.
They are friends.
They
yes.
are best friends. John Shire, also Drake.
I'll allow it.
Some other personalities here.
How about Huey Davis, a little Dirk?
How about yeah, that's okay. He's kind of got swag. Greg Gard, Wisconsin coach Greg Gard. What does he seem like he's into? Silence, maybe? Luke Combs.
Okay.
Luke Combs.
Cornell coach Matt Langle.
What do we got? Oh, no, that's Colgate. That's Colgate.
What did I say?
You said Cornell.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Andy Bernard.
Yeah.
Coldplay.
Don't
make the joke. Don't make the joke from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, no.
Don't.
God.
You wouldn't dare. No. Tom Izzo. It's his month after all.
It is.
Jackson 5.
Is that appealing to like the state of Michigan?
He hasn't changed that in a while. Yeah.
Oh, Lamont Paris also picked Tupac.
Look at this. I don't know anything about Samford's coach, Bucky McMillan, but I vibe with him.
Bucky Ball.
Sam Cook. That's a great take.
Nice.
Now that is a great take. Grambling coach, Dante Jackson. Young Jeezy. Vibe. Me and him, we're cool.
Jay Billis.
Yeah. Jay Billis does it as a bit, though. We do not vibe. Yale coach James Jones, Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
Andy Kennedy, Bob Marley.
Oh.
Andy Kennedy at UAB.
Nico Medved at Colorado State.
Tim Miles coaching tree. Prince. That makes sense. How about Rick Barnes?
Okay, what's
Why don't you go ahead and find Rick Barnes in the Midwest region?
Oh, it's just there.
Bottom right corner.
Rick Barnes. Okay, that feels like placating to your fan base. He has answered Carrie Underwood, which might be true.
Yeah.
But the Tennessee head coach shouting out Nashville.
Chris Montana said Queen is awesome, good for Fred. And Sam Cook, best answer so far. I actually agree with that. Sam Cook has definitely been the best answer so far.
It seems like the most thought out, right?
Yeah. Now, what I did not see was a single college basketball coach who claimed that their favorite musical artist was Billy Joel, and I'm a little bit offended.
Oh.
It feels like it would be the right age group of dudes.
There are a few Springsteens sprinkled about.
Of course.
In there.
Of course, as you have to. I do not see a single Billy Joel.
No. Only one Taylor Swift.
What has happened to us?
TJ Otzelberger at Iowa State picked Ed Sheeran.
Eric Henderson went with John. Dropped the Cougar Mellencamp. Then there's some newer artists on here, and I can't help but think that they're pandering. But
hey, kids,
like Dusty May with Rod Wave.
Hey, kids, like I got to answer this stupid questionnaire.
Because you know,
tell me, give me a cool one.
You know what happens when they do the little bits inside the arenas throughout the year, and they're like, get to know this Husker or whatever. And they all say, my favorite musical artist is Rod Wave. And everyone in the stands is like, who's Rod Wave? Nobody knows who that is.
I don't
Dusty
know.
May heard that a couple times while he was doing nothing during timeouts, and then just wrote that on his questionnaire from Matt Norlander today.
Coach him up, Dusty.
That's what happened. Jacob Bigelow is next. He may have some takes on this very item, actually.
It feels
it's kind of up his alley.
Wheelhouse adjacent for him.
Yeah. And he is going to be walking in Memphis in just a couple days. I'll talk to Jacob on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
Hi, friends. Kent Pavelka courtside getting ready for this year's matchup between the Average Roofing Companies and the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. The average roofers are just that, average at best, not very impressive. The Rooferees, above and beyond the opponent, more dependable, service that exceeds the norm, good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. You know them, you love them, and they're ready to win for you. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard. It's tip-off time with the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Make the right call!
When you keep a car for a long time, it becomes a classic. When you keep your air conditioner for a long time, it becomes, well, let's just say it doesn't get better with age. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning and have your old air conditioner checked out. If it's needed, you can have a brand new Carrier air conditioner installed in no time with fast and easy financing. When the other companies send salesmen, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of
the way we do the things we do.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Lindley Clothing in Omaha has been the premier provider of men's fashion for over 88 years, from suits to jeans, with great brands like Jack Victor, Bugatti, Peter Millar. Your father was a customer. You're a customer. Your son is a customer, and now they're looking for the latest sportswear to tailored clothing. Lindley Clothing has you covered. They will help you get the look that you need with their selection and top-notch customer service. You walk in the door, and there's John and Marlene and the entire Lindley Clothing team with a great smile on their face, and they're to help you. 132nd and West Dodge in Linden Market to pick up the latest styles and enjoy easy access shopping.
It's mulch better at Lanahaw. Planning to wake up your tired yard for spring? Make your landscape the envy of the neighborhood with mulch from Lanahaw's Garden Center, where quality is always a priority. Convenient pickup or delivery available. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop tickets for less.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
He's heating up.
That's the country song, right? Remember when?
Thank you.
Jacob Bigelow.
Yeah. Whenever my open is concocted, throw that in there.
He's on fire.
Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, on the Connor Happer Show, on 1620 The Zone.
Boom shakalaka.
All right. Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated, the Stretch Big Pod, joins us now via the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Jacob, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, Hap. Not too bad. Just looking into what I can maybe do in Memphis aside from the Bass Pro Pyramid. That's what I've been looking into.
What'd you come up with? I'm curious myself.
There's some barbecue joints that come with some high regard. I am a man of barbecue. I do enjoy me some smoked meat.
You're of barbecue?
Yep, I would consider myself that. So would the waist size of my pants. But the that and then you Google Memphis and Graceland pops up a ton.
Oh, that would be fun.
Not an Elvis guy, but I am a dork, so that has jumped out to me as a possibility as well.
You can't go upstairs in Elvis's house. So he might still be up there. I think that's one of the rules at Graceland. You can't go upstairs.
Yep, that's one of them. And and then it's extra sad because all him and his daughter and they've all passed on and they're all buried on the property, so that makes it extra sad. So
we're off to a great somber start.
Off to a roaring beginning here.
Yeah. So you're excited to go to Memphis, which is good. I'm glad that you get to go. And has it maybe sunk in yet, the idea of, well, this has been a thing my entire life. They've always been the kind of butt of the joke. They've never won an NCAA tournament game. They get brought up in the graphic every single time, and you might actually be there when they potentially do it on Friday night.
Yeah, I don't think it has yet, and it probably won't until I am sitting there in the FedEx Forum. My relationship with this program has taken many twists and turns, especially over the last, the last 10 years since the first tournament appearance. But it hasn't quite set in yet. I'm sure 10 hours in the car by myself will give it plenty of time to set in. But yeah, I've definitely tried to think about it, process it a little bit. I'm working on writing something kind of talking about my the long strange ride for me that the last 10 years has been with Nebraska basketball. That'll hopefully be up on Friday morning, a little pregame read from me, but it's been kind of hard to put into words, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it's been a crazy ride. We've been talking about this a little bit today. We are now starting to get a little bit of a sense of what it's going to be like when America finds out about Keisei Tominaga on Friday night. It's started to gain some traction now. If people started watching college basketball for the first time during conference championship weekend, I heard McAfee talking about it today. I don't think we have a good grasp on that yet, but we pretty much know the direction it's coming. People are going to, lose their minds when they find out that Nebraska has this guy.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I saw the Mina Kimes tweet, saw the clip from McAfee. I guess he also got some love from Chris Vernon, who does some stuff for The Ringer, but he also is a Memphis guy originally and has a daily show out in Memphis. I heard there was some Keisei talk from Verno. So it is starting to spread.
It spreads.
My Twitter enemy, John Rothstein, it spreads.
Yep.
But the Keisei experience, it's definitely it's growing, and people are starting to take notice. And I hope that people are still able to take notice. If he is not the guy who leads Nebraska on Friday night, which we've seen this season is a possibility. But we'll just have to see.
Do you feel like they have to? I mean, it's so weird because it's the close to the end of the season. If they lose, it is the end of the season. And so in one sense, it's definitely like it's a must-win game. They have to win. But I guess in the grander scheme of what Nebraska basketball has been, I'm just going to ask you all the same questions that you asked me yesterday on the pod, which is coming out later this week. But do you feel like they have to Nebraska basketball has to win just with all the build up to this and where we sit from a tenor standpoint right now?
Poison football brand would tell you yes, they have to win.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the season is already a rousing success. They have done a bunch of things for the first time that they've never done in the history of the program. But at the end of that tunnel is, looming the quite a significant sized elephant in the room of the one first that they're the only program that's waiting to check that box, and that's winning a game. Obviously, if the game doesn't go their way Friday night, it will feel like a kick in the groin, and we'll see the Jack Mitchell gif tweeted out, and people will be hurting, and it'll be hard to process. But I think when you look back on this season for Nebraska basketball, to make the tournament for the first time in a decade, and do what they did in the Big Ten, and have the moments they had this season, it's a successful year.
There is there's almost this sense of like this program can't really do anything else until they do this, right? Like that's the sense that I get. So like everybody, we like to dream about it, and certainly when Fred got here, what are they going to do? They're gonna go dancing. I still remember that guy in the street out by the rail yard. They're going dancing every year, and dreams about the Sweet 16 and what the program could become and all this stuff. But there is still this giant roadblock, and it doesn't seem that hard. But at the same time, they've never done it before, and it does feel like this is the hurdle that they have to clear before anything else happens.
Yeah, I mean, I completely and totally agree. I think it's the weight that would be lifted off of the fan base's shoulders, off of Fred Hoiberg and his coaching staff's shoulders, not to have to see that graphic anymore, to not have, teams you're up against on the recruiting trail say, why would you want to play there? They've never won an NCAA tournament game. I mean, there's many, many levels to it. And it would be an enormous, weight to be lifted, for people throughout this state, and especially those who have been in and around that program in the past, those who are a part of it now. I mean, there'd be many, many levels to the celebration on Friday if they're able to pull it off.
Do you like the matchup?
I do. At first, I was very locked in on the film thread that I quote tweeted from Joe Jackson talking about what A&M does. They have two really, really good players. One of them may have the greenest green light in the country in Wade Taylor, but him and Boots Radford, shout out Boots Radford, having one
great
of the best
nickname
names in this tournament. But they both can really go. They're not as big as you'd think they are looking at them. Especially looking at their offensive, rebounding numbers. They're number one offensive rebounding team in the country, but they also defend very similar to Nebraska. There will be open shots. There will be opportunities, for an extra pass or a skip pass to lead to open shots. I like the matchup at first glance just because of, how Nebraska's looked over the last month, and, just looking at Texas A&M's personnel. I mean, it's Taylor, Radford, and then quite the dip after that in terms of, guys who are going to go out and beat you.
Is the focus just the one, or are you allowing yourself to dream a little bit about what happens after a potential win on Friday?
I think the focus is the one right now. If you're playing Houston on Sunday, it's a good problem to have. I'm sure I would love to know how quickly someone in the Nebraska office sent a text to Ames, Iowa, asking for Houston scout, Houston tape, some sort of breakdown on Houston since the fact Iowa State took care of them twice this year, and the familiarity between those two staffs. But I mean, it's about as big of a nightmare matchup as you could think of for Nebraska.
Agreed.
In terms of personnel, athleticism, play style. But I mean, if you're playing a 1 seed on Sunday, it's a good problem to have. You get the weight off your shoulder with the win on Friday, and you're probably a little more loose, and you're just going out to play ball at that point, in my opinion.
Josh, pick up the microphone.
What's going on?
What are you doing over there?
Just allowing Jacob to picture his dreams.
Check. Can you check Twitter right now? And I want your live reaction to this graphic that Josh has just cooked up featuring you.
Oh no.
Yeah, go ahead. Just put us on speakerphone or just take the phone off your ear and check Twitter real quick.
Oh no. Oh God. Oh.
You're going to Graceland. Congratulations.
That's
It'll be fun. You and Casey and Fred and Elvis.
Oh, not even that fat Elvis too. That's fat, sad Elvis.
Yeah, fat, sweaty, sad Elvis.
Oh.
It's an Elvis impersonator if you want to get technical.
Well, he's not at Graceland. The Elvis impersonator isn't there. Yeah, so that'll be good. That'll be your dreams. That's what's going to happen on probably Saturday or something. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Do that before I hit the road back to Omaha. But
good job, Josh. Good job.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Josh.
Thank you all.
Yep.
Proceed with your interview.
Bracket thoughts as you look elsewhere, as you look around. Whether it's narratives for the week. I mean, we were just talking about the idea that the tournament maybe seems a little bit just generally a hair weaker. I don't really, with the bid stillers that we had, and now we get the first 4 moved up to like 10 seeds. Like, do you have any general kind of like bracket takeaways as you sort of parse through it over the last couple of days?
I think, people always want to say you got to avoid chalk, and blah, 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 blah. But I mean, I just don't see any like darling double-digit seeds that I really like think can, win multiple games. I mean, I know the 12 seed, 5 seed, that's the most popular. The 12 seeds went over last year. Obviously a whole new crop of teams, whole new bracket, but I mean, looking at it, obviously you never want to get too crazy thinking about upsets, but I genuinely, the mid-major that I look at and I see, that I like the most looking at them at first is Drake. And they'll be playing in Omaha, and just the personnel they've got. Tucker DeVries is a future NBA player, and, for him and his dad to be, back at the Chi where they've spent many years, that'll be really special to both of them. And then Drake's also a really good team, and that second round matchup between them and Iowa State, that would be quite the doozy on Saturday. It would be pretty fun to see. So, and then obviously the big narratives are the 6 Mountain West teams. How many of them will win one game? The Mountain West in March is a narrative that is out there. Starting tonight with Colorado State, a program that I'm pretty close to and know fairly well, against a team nobody wanted even near the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Purdue thing. Then there's the Purdue thing, and them in March, and people. I'm sure there will be plenty of people out there who are going to pick a 16 seed to beat them, just either as a joke or just like, oh, it's Purdue against the 16. Here we go again, and going to just put that in. So I mean, there's plenty of narratives out there, but I think this tournament could feel rather chalky. That's my biggest takeaway.
I kind of agree, and we'll say that, and we'll look like total idiots when we talk next Tuesday, and there's like 3 12 or greater seeds that end up in the Sweet 16, because inevitably it'll happen that way.
Yeah, absolutely. No, when on the weekend when McNeese and Samford are playing each other for a trip to the Sweet 16 out in
hey,
Salt
I have
Lake.
that in my bracket.
Josh is prepared for all possibilities.
No joke.
Prepared.
Hey, Jacob, what do you have coming up on the pod or pods this week?
So it's actually funny you should ask. It's a very fun week on the podcast. I talked with you last night, and that pod will be out later today, actually. And then I will be talking with Amy Just from Lincoln Journal-Star, and we will have that out later in the week for a little pregame pod. And between that and the column I've got coming for Huskers Illustrated on my ride with the program, and the next magazine, which will have my Q&A with Keisei Tominaga that we did before the end of the regular season, coming hot and heavy with the content. A lot of content coming from me to go along with my most favorite time of year. Jacob
Content Bigelow. And then take the selfie and try and recreate the Graceland pick that Josh just created out of thin air. That's the next piece of content that we're all looking for.
Oh, I mean, I might have to. I'll make sure I get Josh an Elvis song for my lead-in next week.
Ooh,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you very much.
The Austin Butler version of
I can't stop being Elvis.
All right, Jacob. Enjoy the trip, my friend. Have fun. We'll talk to you soon.
I will. Safe travels to you getting out to Pittsburgh too, Hap. Talk to you next week.
Yep, there he goes. Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, Stretch Big Pod, and of content. And look, there he is, right in front of Elvis's house.
In front of Elvis's house with Keisei Tominaga and Fred Hoiberg.
Why did you make it an Elvis impersonator and not just Elvis?
Well, it's not going to be the real Elvis, Connor.
Are you sure? There's some conspiracy theories out there.
I've heard.
Okay.
Also, I needed something that indicated it was Graceland if you didn't know that was Graceland.
Yeah, because if not, it just looks like a house.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the Graceland logo is a color that is very similar. Like it doesn't pop up against that house. So I needed something.
Oh, Trev Alberts just did a tweet.
Oh, God.
A retweet. George Strait is going to play at Kyle Field.
Oh, okay. Wonder where he got that idea.
I don't think that was his idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that was his idea. I don't know, but I don't think that was his idea.
Also, very quickly, I know we got to get to break here. Lisa Bluter has talked.
Oh, good. I wonder what she's talking about.
About the dangerous scheduling of the Big Ten tournament. Iowa had to play 3 games in 3 days.
Is she serious?
She is serious.
Just imagine if you weren't the 1 or the 2 seed and had to play 5 games in 5 days.
Interesting. Yeah.
Give me a break. It's a tournament. Kids play basketball, Lisa.
This isn't protocol.
AAU, they play 7 games a day, and then they come back the next day and play 14. That's what they do all their lives. All they do is play. They can play. It's not dangerous. It's just protocol.
Yes, I think we should probably expand these tournaments, put off days in between, and stretch them out so they last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that'll keep everybody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back with more on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
College basketball's biggest tournament is coming, and it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, tight moneyline splits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Download your new bookie before all of the March action at circasports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Velocity Clinical Research in Omaha frequently conducts clinical trials for a broad range of investigational treatments. Typical studies involve medications for high cholesterol, diabetes, infectious diseases, and others. They also perform vaccine studies for people of all ages, conducting innovative research that has a positive impact on lives. Click for current trials at velocityclinicaltrials.com. More trials are launching in March. Compensation for study-related time and travel. Find out more at velocityclinicaltrials.com.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage, and it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
Do you like to shoot fireworks? Would you like to get
paid to shoot fireworks? J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in Western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
Get more with Murphy Tractor. Each of our 29 locations offers new, used, and rental John Deere construction equipment, an extensive parts inventory, as well as other complimentary products. We also have a full team of Capstone certified technicians with field service capabilities. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
It's basketball time in Omaha, and when you're downtown for the games, be sure to stop into Cubby's Old Market at 13th and Jackson. Gear up for pre-parties, tailgates, or post-game. Cubby's has what you need. You'll find a full meat counter with steaks, burgers, chicken, and homemade broths. Hot and fresh deli food, including Chester's Chicken and Godfather's Pizza Express. Pop, water, beer, and a full liquor department. See you at Cubby's Old Market, open 24 hours at 13th and Jackson.
Hi, this is John Bishop. Since the day I got my driver's license, I've had a check next to the organ and tissue donor box. It's a selfless gift because healthy organ donors can save up to 8 lives. And with tissue donation, dozens more can get the gift of sight, and burn victims can get life-changing skin grafts. Anybody can register, and there's no cost to you or your family. Check that organ donor box next time you renew your license, or visit goodguysavelives.com. Learn more about organ and tissue donation today and see how you can save 8 lives at goodguysavelives.com.
Hey, couple things for you. Let me slam this promo into one, Josh. So, slam it! A couple different things coming up for the big basketball tournament. We, of course, have the bracket challenge, just like everybody else in the entire world. We would encourage you to join that. There's cool prizes.
You can compete against us. Like our picks are up top of the page.
So you can find that at 1620thezone.com. And then you could also find what we're calling censored 1620.
Ooh, what is that? That sounds spicy.
There would have been a word, but it's censored. 1620, right? So we're going to pick 16 people when we get down to 16 teams in the big basketball tournament. They'll get paired up with a team, and you'll ride that team as long as they go. If they just so happen to win all of the marbles, then you'll win $1,620. I feel like I explained it a lot better today.
Today was better.
Thank you, Josh.
Get in the pile.
Yeah, get in the pile.
We'll
hop in the
pick
pile.
your name out of the pile.
Roll around a little bit.
We'll handcuff you to a team, and that's the team you'll be forced to root for.
All of that is available for you to enter at 1620thezone.com. Why you're at it, why not subscribe to the email list as well? Because then you can stay up to date on all the things that are happening with us. Baseball on the radio season is coming up.
Yeah, a lot
You'll
of cool
want
stuff.
to know when baseball is on the radio.
Get the sports schedule each week. That's going to be popping.
I love when that happens. Honestly, I'm dead serious. I actually love when that happens. So yes. Here's another stat for you. We're like real stat boys today, Josh.
Hell yeah.
Greg McDermott has now been in the NCAA tournament 11 times in the he has been 11 in the last 20 tournaments. I got this from that giant binder.
I would have guessed more.
11 of the last 20 NCAA tournaments. Fred Hoiberg, 4 of the last 20 NCAA tournaments. Those do not include this year. Here's another stat for you. More than 450 players are in the transfer portal.
Why?
Why? That's a great question, Josh. Actually, I can't answer that one.
Okay.
Why are they in the portal? Because it's open. Why is it open? Is the real question that we should be diving into.
I felt so bad when like these college basketball reporters have to go, yeah, this forward from Loyola who averaged 2.4 points a game has entered the portal. It's like, wow, okay. I hate that you have to know that happened. Because I can't keep track of all those players.
Nobody should have to think about this at this exact moment.
That too.
Put everything on hold until the tournament ends. And then if you want to make it a free-for-all, make it a free-for-all. Teams who are playing in the NCAA tournament should not have to waste resources and time thinking about what their roster is going to look like next year at the most important time during their season. It should not be a thing. There are now, according to verbal commits, 501 people in the transfer portal. It's been open for 24 hours. Why has it been open for 24 hours? Great question. I don't know. I know everyone's had this take over the last, day or two of the college basketball take market here. Like, there's no other way to look at it. The portal should not be open on this day. It just shouldn't.
No, absolutely not. I hope everyone finds the place they're looking for and gets a great deal for themselves and their schools, but this should wait a month.
Now, you could, if you want to zag, here's the one space where you might have the opportunity. So what's happening right now? Teams that did not make the NCAA tournament, it might be viewed that they have a bit of a leg up.
Okay.
That they can go out and they can recruit and they can make more contact. They could have more focus. They could have more energy. Now, also keep this in mind, just because the portal opened yesterday doesn't mean the portal really opened yesterday. That's just when the portal officially opened yesterday. There may be some tampering going on, especially coming off of, just people know people, right? And so if somebody's playing at enter low major school, that person and performing well, it's very likely that person has gotten an offer before the transfer portal even opened up. That is still happening. But if you want to, if you're really gung ho about, making some of the top teams, the teams that always get into the NCAA tournament, evened up with some of the bottom ones, then you might like this because those guys have an advantage in recruiting. At the same time, we all know that the NCAA transfer portal, the college basketball transfer portal, doesn't really fire up all that much until the Final Four ends or to the first round of the tournament or the first weekend of the tournament ends, or especially, and you'll see this as a trend too, it'll really fire up when the coaching carousel moves around, which is usually after the Final Four. Quick phone call here from Steve on the 42 Degrees Source hotline. Hey, Steve, go ahead. What's up?
Well, I heard you all talking about like the portal. There's 500 players that have entered the portal divided by like all the teams, now. Most of those players that have entered the portal, first off, they're from teams that aren't in the tournament, or even in the NIT for that, probably, as far as that matters. So, all the guys who are like 1.5 points or 2.7 points a game, all that. I don't think really that's a distraction at all for the teams because they have other people, they have staffs they have multiple people in their staff that are working on recruiting and other things and NIL stuff. So I think that you're blowing it a little bit out of proportion, in my opinion, as far as like, oh, this is going to be a huge distraction. It's not. It's just the truth of it. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Steve. I appreciate it. It doesn't have to be a huge distraction, but like if there was a player that you were, let's say, and we've heard this already, like Frankie Fiddler's in the portal. Nebraska's interested in Frankie Fiddler.
They got to wait. Or should wait.
They're not. They can't, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to go recruit the guy and you want to get a foot in the door, then you got to go recruit the guy. They're playing an NCAA tournament game on Friday. Like, I'm not saying it's a distraction for them playing the game.
Right.
What I'm saying is it's an avoidable situation.
Yes.
It's an avoidable situation.
We could have pushed this back to, I don't know, maybe the end of the semester, which is coming probably sooner than I realize.
Like 5 weeks,
yeah,
basically. So,
right after the NCAA tournament ends. Interesting.
Yeah, you could do it just right after that too. And so everybody could get situated before that. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's an easily avoidable thing.
Yeah, one of those little calendar bugaboos that's like, what? feels like a pretty obvious solution.
That's all it is. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We will likely get to the poll questions. We'll tell you what to watch on the other side on 1620 The Zone. But from upsets to buzzer beaters, nothing compares to hoops in March. But as we know, sometimes you're on the wrong end of those moments. Sometimes you're cooking up the perfect 14 to beat a 3, and you just fall a little bit short at the end. That is why FanDuel is giving everyone a no-sweat bet from right now until March 20th, until tomorrow. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or if you already have an account. You'll get bonus bets back if your bet doesn't win. You can even use your no-sweat bet on a college hoops parlay if you'd like to as well. So let's use that exact same example. You feel like you got a beat on something, right? You feel like you got it, and you just fall a little bit short. That is where FanDuel has your back. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app if you haven't already, and do it by going to FanDuel.com/Happer. Make every moment more with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Once again, that's a no-sweat bet. 21 and over, present in Iowa. Refund issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
Screw that. You've got Shaka Smart. You've got a guy who gets out on the floor and plays defense on his own end, too. I mean, come on. No, that is a bunch of crap. That is absolutely a bunch of crap. That, first of all, when I think of that building at its best, it is never, ever crossed the mind of like, man, these students or this crowd is brutal. That's what makes it so tough. No, they just get loud. They get into it. 95% of it's positive. The other 5% is nothing different than what you're going to see at any other venue.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10. On 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A very sunny and warm Tuesday afternoon, a high temperature around 65 degrees, but a strong northwest wind at 10 to gusting to 30 miles per hour. Will be clear overnight, starting temperature tomorrow near 30 degrees, and a slightly cooler high temperature at around 46 degrees for tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV News Watch 7.
You can find pizza anywhere. But when you want pizza pie piled high with more toppings, that's when you come to my place, Godfather's Pizza. For a limited time, get your hands on 2 of my large one-topping pizzas. Pick pepperoni, beef, black olives, you choose. All this food for only $30. Feed your whole mob without breaking the bank. Hey, it's an offer you can't refuse. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
He thinks bean counting is an iPhone app. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. Don't just get your taxes done. Get them managed. If you're tired of losing sleep over business and personal taxes, you're ready to make more money, give us a call.
Call Berger, Elliott, and Pritchard CPAs at 402-551-1919 or visit BEPCPA.com.
O'Reilly. Need a little help? O'Reilly Auto Parts can help. Need advice? We've got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is and has always been locally owned and operated. Now, with 160 employee owners, chances are one of us lives in your neighborhood. We take pride in taking care of you, our customers, and keeping you comfortable all year round. And as always, our technicians don't have sales quotas. When other companies send salespeople, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Hear that? The soothing sounds of a bubble bath. And if you were here, you'd smell a single cedar leaf candle. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get back on the road and enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And then take a shower, because it's fast, like your motorcycle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance may require comprehensive coverage. Not available in all states.
Hey, basketball fans. When you're in downtown Omaha for the games, remember that Cubby's is just a free throw away at 13th and Jackson. Gear up for pre-parties, tailgates, or post-game. Cubby's has what you need. You'll find a full meat counter with steaks, burgers, chicken, and homemade brats. Hot and fresh deli food, including Chester's Chicken and Godfather's Pizza Express. Pop, water, beer, and a full liquor department. See you at Cubby's Old Market, open 24 hours at 13th and Jackson.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
At 4 hours later, we're still quoting Vacation during the break.
Hell yeah.
Nick is so good at that. Seriously.
He is.
Nick Hanley is incredible at recall, like exact word recall on movie quotes.
Of like longer lines too, not just like a couple of
He'll
phrases.
rip off the whole thing.
It's not just go bleep yourself, San Diego.
Yeah, it's the whole deal. It's the old wooden ship used in the Civil War era.
I don't think the network is concerned about the lack of an old wooden ship, Ron.
We had a couple poll questions from yesterday. First, let's clean them up.
Oh, yeah, crossover.
Want to get drunk and play Tiger Woods?
I do.
It kind of sounds fun, actually. Mm-hmm. Surprised it didn't get more, 73%. I don't know where this came from. You'll have to fill me in. Have you ever had the privilege of detasseling corn?
This came from word for word Trev Alberts' introductory press conference at Texas A&M.
Oh.
He asked a rhetorical question, have you had the privilege of detasseling corn? Talking about his Nebraska roots.
Oh, sure, yeah. So my grandparents lived on a farm. I always had the option during the summer, but my excuse was, sorry, I'm playing baseball.
Gotta play baseball.
So no, I have not had the privilege.
You hear that, kids? Sports. It'll get you out of hard labor.
Super, and it'll make you get a job late if you could play long enough.
Oh yeah,
you don't have to get a job until you're like 18. It's awesome. 57% say yes, they have had the privilege. Have you ever pulled the fire alarm?
No, I have not.
I was scared about that.
Got a resounding no from Stephen M. Sipple.
92% say no. Are we a sick country?
Yeah,
I'm gonna vote yes. I wonder what do you think the percentage of this is going to be? It's like maybe 67% yes.
Yeah, I feel like just a little more yes.
89% say yes.
Oh, wow. It doesn't mean we're bad. Still the best country. Just kind of sick.
Sick country. I love this country, but we are sick. Those are the poll questions. Josh, what are we watching?
We got a lot of sports on the TV tonight, including the first four, which, yes, it counts. Wagner versus Howard, 5:40 on True TV, followed at 8:10 by Colorado State and Virginia. Connor, I know you'll be locked in to that once you get home tonight. NIT 11 opening round matchups tonight on the ESPN family of networks. Providence is going to host a game. Ohio State will host one.
They actually accepted their NIT invites?
They did. Minnesota at Butler is probably like the most local interest. I think Iowa plays as well. 8 o'clock on ESPNU. NBA, just a 5-game slate tonight. One of those games is on NBA TV at 8 o'clock. The Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves, which means it will be blacked out here locally, so no NBA.
Is a double blackout mean it's unblacked out?
Oh, maybe. Maybe it cancels each other out. I hadn't thought of that. Hockey doubleheader on Hulu tonight. Carolina Hurricanes against the New York Islanders at 6:30, followed by the Minnesota Wild out west to take on the Anaheim Ducks at 9 o'clock. College baseball on your radio tonight, 5:45 start on our sister station, 1180 for the 14-3 Creighton Blue Jays as they host South Dakota State. Connor?
Yeah?
Any interstate trivia we should be tuned into?
No. Nothing like that tonight.
Okay.
They're not connected really by any interstates.
Okay. Also in the college game, the Omaha Mavericks are in our state's capital to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers at 6 o'clock tonight. That game is on Big Ten Plus.
Oh, they let the children do it?
I guess. I kind of thought this would be a Nebraska public media pickup, but it's not.
It's going to be an okay night. It looks nice outside right now.
Yeah.
Today's our one good weather day in the next week.
That's right. Not tonight, but before we come on the air next, there will be a Major League Baseball game that has been played. 5 a.m. tomorrow on ESPN. The Dodgers and the Padres open up the season. It is a game that counts. It's the Seoul Series in Seoul, South Korea. Tyler Glasnow against Yu Darvish. Who's pitching tonight? It'll be Yu Darvish. And finally, on Amazon Prime, Dinner Parties with Jose Andres. Culinary icon invites actors Jamie Lee Curtis, Bryan Cranston, and O'Shea Jackson Jr., that's Ice Cube's son.
What a crew.
Over to whip up Spanish-influenced recipes.
Paella?
I would
almost have some paella?
I would almost guarantee it.
I have this cool Spanish dish that nobody knows about. It's called paella.
Oh, I never knew how to make
comes
paella.
over and we eat all out of the same bowl.
It's so intimidating to make paella. No, it's easy. Watch.
That's the whole episode. Yep. We already did it for you. You don't have to watch it.
Guarantee it. Also, give Jose the Congressional Medal of Honor already, cowards.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
I don't even know what that take was about. It went right over my head.
He saved a lot of people.
All right. That is it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Tomorrow I will be out, but I think we'll probably touch base at some point.
I believe there will be some time for that among our many, many guests.
Josh has a big show lined up for you tomorrow. Stay tuned. You got Darian DeVries on the show. We got the Duquesne coach.
Yep. Robin Washut, Mitch Sherman.
We got the tweet bag, so we need some interaction.
Yeah.
We'll have first 4 games underneath our belt. You could, of course, recap. Mm-hmm. I'll help you recap the Creighton baseball game tomorrow if you really need.
I would love a rundown of that. I can talk the Major League Baseball game in the books.
All right. Josh, I'm excited for the Josh show tomorrow.
Should be great.
All right. That's it for us today. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is available right at your fingertips in Iowa. The Circa Sports Iowa app is sports betting the way it should be. Bet anywhere in Iowa and experience high betting limits, tight money line splits, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com and start betting like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's cold outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink Nebraska-brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call on the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
His voice is often mistaken for a dial tone. He is the most uninteresting man in the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Berger. I'm still the most uninteresting man in the world. But if you're tired of losing sleep over business and personal